there are 517 pets in Super Auto Pets as of July 2025, and I'm going to rank all of them. Absolutely all of them. So you can see the pets are ranked. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. The pets are ranked based on tier. So it's all the tier 1s, it's all the tier 2s, all the way down to tier 6. I will not be doing the novelty pets. So like Zombie Fly and Bus and Chick, we will not be doing. So you can scratch that. This is happening on Grounded SAP's website. Link in description for this or many other great SAP resources. And this is how I'm going to do it. I will go through in order, tier 1 through to tier 6. But I will not be ranking within the tiers. That would take way too long. So a B tier is a B tier, a C tier is a C tier. I'm not ranking within the tiers. On top of that, I'm factoring in the pet's viability in Versus and Arena and any pack it might appear in. Its own pack, a custom pack, a weekly pack. We're factoring everything in. And finally, you might be wondering, what are your qualifications, Mr. RevGT? Maybe you've never heard of me. I wrote down a few things for this bit. You know, you gotta provide some persona and some qualifications so you know I'm worth listening to. I have 615,000 snacks in Super Auto Pets. Go to the home screen right now. Look at the top. See how many snacks you have. I have 615,000. I have a lot of experience in both arena and competitive versus play. I am the best player in the Southern Hemisphere. And this last bit I thought I'd add. My son is 14 months old, and he can identify many different types of animals. So, like, maybe I have freak genetics for animals and things and such. Anyway, enjoy. Let's go. We're 2 minutes in. It's time to bowl. Let me make sure it's all set up. Here we go. African Wild Dog, new pet. I'm not convinced it's good. Set the attack to 3, jump attack the second enemy. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I'm actually going to go D tier. I think that's about right. Alchemedes is very strong for a tier 1. It provides a lot of tempo. You don't keep it late game, but it provides a lot of tempo. I think it's one of the best tier 1s. It's an A. The Ant, one of the most legendary, well-known pets in the SAP space. I was thinking about Ant before I did this. The Ant in Super Auto Pets is sort of like having a chocolate bar at 9:30 in the morning. It gives you an instant zhuzh. It gives you a bit of force at 9:30 in the morning. But come turn 7 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you are regretting that chocolate bar if you have committed to it. B tier. Bakunawa. No, just Baku, scratch that. Works really well within its ailment lines. Doesn't offer you much outside of that, say in a custom pack or a weekly pack. But I don't think it's bad, it's a C. And look at this nice little spread we're getting. Barghest is just an A tier unit. So much tempo early, you can keep it around for a while. One of the best tier 1s. Basilisk. I'm honestly tempted to put this S. Where did it just go? I'm once again asking whether... Okay, it's gone to the bottom. Wee. Basilisk. I'm going to respectfully put it B. I think it can be S tier. You can take Basilisk into late game and just destroy their front unit. Hey, nice lionfish. Become a rock. Hey, nice any good unit with any good ability. Become a rock. You know what I'm saying? In the words of Post Malone, I'm a rock star or something of that. I can't remember the song. Beaver. We're 4 minutes in. This is a disaster already. Beaver. Can you put it S tier? Oh, I gotta stop doing that. I'm gonna cry. Flying beavers. Here comes Beaver flying through the air all the way into A tier. I'm close to putting it S tier, but I don't think you can really put that many tier 1 units in S tier. But Beaver is fantastic. You think about its stats, when you sell it, it gives 2 stats. It's basically a 2 gold apple, although it's not directed. Ladybug recently received a buff to its base stats, and I think that drives it up a bit. I still think it's C tier. It could be B tier. Speaking of B tier, Bluebird. There's a bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth. It's factual. Everything is satisfactual. Yippity-doo-da, B tier. Great unit. The Bombus Dalbomi is S tier fun. It does win you battles. I put it in my custom pack, and it absolutely wins you or draws you battles early. It has to be one of the best tier ones. And we've been quite generous so far. But I think the Bombus is a B. You know what? I'm putting it A. You can't stop me. All of these units are great. You might be like, oh, you're overrating pets. You'll see. Just hang around. Just wait and see things and such. Budgie is a good unit. And I think it's C tier. Bulldog. God, well, this just received a nerf recently. I think it's really good for versus. And it's a good early buff target. But it does fall off hard. And I think if you overcommit, it's a bit of a trap. It's a bit of a trap. If you overcommit to Bulldog, you're in trouble in the mid-game. I think it's still C tier. Bunyip was a former powerhouse that is now nerfed. It's a lot of early tempo. But it's like turn 1 and 2, arguably the best bet. Turn 3 onwards, garbage. D tier. Chihuahua can give you... It just destroys so many units. Anything that's reliant on order on their team, it causes problems. It's usually a good take. I won a versus game recently by buying a turn 14 Chihuahua. So it has the late game potential, which you'd always say. I think it's B tier overall. Because a good player will counter it, and in versus, yeah, you just never know. Chinchilla received a buff. Any cell pet on tier 1 is good. A 2-3 stat line, it's like what the duck used to be, you know? Little old ducky ain't what it used to be. And I think Chinchilla makes you feel good, so I'm putting it B tier. Chipmunk received a buff a few months ago, and I think it's pretty takeable. It is a B tier unit. Cockroach, you want to believe in it, and it has some fun experience lines it can get busy with, but I think in most cases you're better off looking elsewhere. D tier. Cone Snail. So it's a 1-2, but you can think of it like being a 1-4, 1 attack, 4 health, because it's always giving 2 health back. It works well within its pack with certain units, but I think you're generally better off looking elsewhere, so it's D tier. And now we get to cricket. The first time I did a tier list many moons ago, one commenter left like a novel's worth of a response to the fact that I put cricket in C tier, and they thought it was B tier. And adding on to that fact, adding even more juice to that argument, there are rumors of big cricket being the current turtle pack meta in versus. Is that a joke? Is it not? I don't know, but based on those two factors, I will acknowledge it as a B tier. I think Cuddletoad is fine, and it's C tier. Duck and its recent nerf means you're more likely to lose with it, but you still probably take it B tier. Duckling, you're guaranteed to lose the first 2 rounds if you take it, but then you get a mega tier 3 on level up on turn 3, so I think Duckling is a fine take. Ethiopian Wolf annoys me so much to play against. I think it does help you win early turns, and I'll acknowledge it as a C tier. Fan Muscle might just be goated. Takes 3 less damage at level 3. Like you can buff this guy. You know the muscle puts the muscle in the muscles. I always say he's got muscles on his muscles. Muscles. B. Farmer Mouse is. Again, it's a 2-3, but it gives a stat backwards, so you can think of it like a 2-4 or a 3-3 in terms of the total stats it's bringing to a fight. I think it's pretty good. I think it's almost A tier, but it's not. Ferret. Obviously, if you're on a toy line, this guy gives you value early and mid-game, but the tennis ball can also pop melons late game. It's pretty good. Relative to its tier, Ferret is just a damn good unit. It's an A tier unit. The Firefly. Shout out Owl City. Sing it with me. 3, 2, 1. You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies created a fairly average board through the early and mid game, and it had late game viability if you were memeing, but didn't really move the needle. I'll go D tier. I'm convinced Firefly has some pop-off potential. I'm trying to game that. game theory that, things and such. I'm a fish believer. I really believe in fish, but maybe that's an attachment to the past glory of the fish. And I think C tier is about right. Frill Dragon can go insano. Very reliant on other units, but it can give you a big pop off. I think C tier is about right. The Frog. Froggy, froggy, froggy. Ladies, gentlemen, a gentle round of applause. We have our first S tier unit. I'll make the case. God, we're 10 minutes in already. I'll make the case. Frog, with the rise of seaweed and elk and all of these things, you can keep a frog way into the late game. And the ability to swap stats from one pet to another on sell is absolutely diabolically strong. Within Star Pack, in any custom or kind of weekly pack. The Frog it's like the ultimate teammate. It's like, I'll just be here until the team's good. At that point, I'll sell and make your team even better, and then I'll be on my way and I'll support from the sidelines. My friend Hawkman raised a point that when you sell a pet, do they die? Or are they just like, if this was like a PG thing, it'd be like they just like sub off, like, yeah, you're in, like substitution in a children's sports movie, but adult terms, that you might just like be sending them to the Shadow Realm. Either way, the Frog is either watching from heaven or from the sidelines and is very happy with your work. Gecko, if you're putting Ferret A tier, you put Gecko right alongside it. Nothing more to be said. This can be your buff target way deep into the game. The Gibbon is the original Pillbug ability. I feel bad doing this, but we have our first F tier unit. Back when this ability was on the Pillbug, it was never really worth taking anyway. And now it is especially not worth taking because other better tier ones have come in the mix. I guess if we clapped for the Frog, we cry for the Gibbon. But Fergie did tell me that big girls don't cry. She also sung the national anthem and it was bad, yeah. Oh, say, can you see? And then Draymond was like, try not to laugh. Yeah, I was watching that live and it was bad. Goose. I think it's D. That was really good commentary, Rev. Groundhog is one of the pets in Golden Pack you'd want to take. You wouldn't see it in a custom pack or a weekly pack, but you would be happy to settle for it. I think it's better than C tier. I think it's B. Horse just gives you oomph into a summon line, and it also gives you temp stats. This horse is flying. All the way to C tier. I think that's respectable for Horse. I think many Versus players would argue that Horse is better than that, and I will respectfully hear your argument and then stop listening. Speak to the hand, because the face ain't listening. Hummingbird is a damn good pet. I think it gets all the way up into A tier. It's a 3-1 that gives a strawberry. So if you factor in the stats that strawberry gives back, it's a 4-2. Ew, it's good. It's just good. Pika helps Transformy friends get a little bit better. Am I putting this E or D? I think there are situations where you take it, but you're not ecstatic when you take Illy Pika. Maybe D tier. Aromicat transforms. Iramod the cat. You know, like that. Is gonna. I'm gonna switch these two. Kiwi, I love outside of its pack, not so good. But I think it's really good within Star Pack, enough that we can respect it to a C tier. Ladybug can get jacked up on stats, and you can keep it for a while. I think it's B. Magpie users will tell you that it's S tier. Anyone that doesn't know the value of Magpie will just instantly put it F tier. They'd never take it. I find myself fairly in the middle. I think outside of its own pack. You know what? I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to put it D tier. And people will get mad at me for that. But outside of its own pack, you don't want to take Magpie actively. It's like I'll take it if the shop gives it to me and it's gold efficient. The Malay Tapir is causing problems for me, man. In Arena, in Versus, I think it is jacked up strong. My prediction is that we will eventually see this dropping down to 2-1 starting stat line would be my prediction. The Marmosetti Spaghetti is arguably the best tier 1, but it's not. And I'll put it A tier. Marmoset is essentially like worth 2 gold on sell because of the extra roll you get. So it's like a pig. Think of it like a pig with a 2-3 stat line, so it trades better early rounds. I'm really tempted to put it A, but I just can't. Mosquito, I'm sorry, if you're a newer player or you only play Turtle Pack, you might think this guy's good. The thing with Mosquito is it's such an easy to understand unit that a newer player will gravitate to it. And I'm here to tell you that it is an E tier unit. The only thing stopping it from being F is that it can pop melons later. But if you're going into a team that has hurt pets, the Mosquito is actively bad. Actively good. Mothme, A tier. Basically a 3-3 unit with the stats it gives. I have a mouse addiction, both within Star Pack and custom packs. But I think it's just a C tier unit. Getting 2 gold apples is not the worst way to go in the mid game. But then you're not using that gold to find levels. You know what I'm saying? Things and such. Mermal, I could be off base here, but I think it's garbage. The Nudibranch is like almost comical how strong it can be for a few rounds. But I think it's bad if you're taking... Let's try again. I think Nudibranch is bad if you are taking it and then investing in it, because then you're not looking for triples elsewhere. I think C tier is right. The opossum, what's the difference between a possum and an opossum? Nobody knows. One of the biggest, one of the 8, well, no, not 8 wonders of the world. One of the 8 things that keeps me up at night. That was really good commentary. Opossum is S tier. When I did my top 10 Super Auto Pets videos, I almost put this guy in the top 10. But it was a tier 1, so I couldn't get there. But, God, if you had every opening shop had multiple opossums in it, you would be happy. Good commentary, Rev. Nothing more to say. Otter recently received a buff. It now has a 1-4 stat line. It's still bad. The only angle of taking Otter is pushing for level 3 and getting a Bison. And if you're playing that way, you're a scumbag. Pengobble, it's similar to the Nudibranch in that it can just get comical within its pack. Like turn 5, a rock and this guy pumping out like 20 something mana, maybe less, I don't know. I actually think it's pretty good. I think Pengobble's pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, Pheasant is A tier, and I won't hear any arguments to the contrary. I'm just thinking here, this really should look like a triangle, right? I've leaned optimistic on tier 1s. I don't think that's going to maintain. I think the tier 1s are in a pretty good state right now. And I'm not going too buck wild crazy. Pied Tamarin, the baby nurse shark. It's not bad within its pack. I think it's generally not that good, so let's go D. Pig, you can make an argument Pig is S tier. I'm going to say that it is A tier. A classic unit of Sig. I love super. Move on from that joke, Rev. Pigeon, really good in its own pack with the power of rabbit. Generally speaking, I actually have it in my custom pack, but I think it's not that good compared to the other tier ones. Let's go back a little bit. Let's if you're a long-term SAT player, I want you to cast your mind back to what I was saying earlier when the Pillbug used to have this ability of the Gibbon. And it was floated that the Pillbug should give a pill on sell. I distinctly and vividly remember the response of Grounded Sap and Super Auto Gaming being that would be way too overpowered. Because pills are so valuable in this game. And I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm putting it S tier. Stunningly good. It is stunningly good. Yeah. I feel good about these three being S tier. Look, you can be like, you know, like as you are known to do, but I feel really good about having these three in S tier. It's Pygmy Seahorse time. A fun looking pet, a fun pet itself. Maybe I'm underrating this, but I think it's D tier. I don't think it's bad. But I don't think it's quite as good as these C tier units. Here comes the question marks. Oh, God. Good old question marks. Grounded didn't actually do the question marks. Most people just refer to this guy as Bush. It's a 3-2 unit. It does some things. I think outside of its pack, it's pretty bad. I don't think I can go D tier. I'm actually going to change my mind here. I'm going to drop a unit down to E tier. Because now that I look at this, I think this guy's better than many of these units. Honestly, this guy started... The very first pet I've changed my mind on. You're E tier. I don't see your value. I guess it's a 3-1. Now I've changed my mind. You go back. Silkmoth is actually quite good. Obviously, you want to combine it with like a yak in a custom pack or something that just has high health. A manatee in its own pack. I think it's a B tier unit. I respect it. Silverfish has a strong case for being the worst pet in the game. And I'm going to say nothing more than that. We come to the Sloth. During my first tier list, I rated Sloth as an F tier unit. And people came at me in the comments. And I've reflected on my actions. And I would change absolutely nothing. In fact, I'll double down. The Sloth is an F tier unit. Is there an element of saltiness for the fact that I have never got a level 3 Sloth win still to this day? Possible. I generally find it in a garbage custom pack where I'm trying a stupid build. And am I mad that Scooty did that weekly where everyone got their Sloth achievement? You bet your sweet Bibby. Moving on. Sneaky Egg. I think you can do some funky things with mana here, but I think it's generally... I mean, it's a 4-2 stat line. Which is freakish. So I think I'll go D tier. You can make an argument for C tier here. The Termite is the old cockroach ability. It's guaranteed to be a 2-4 on turn 2 if you buy it on turn 1. But I think generally you're better off looking elsewhere. This new guy might be good. A 4-3 stat line. Straight out of the shop. This is what I was saying earlier. About how, like, the tier 1s have risen. I feel like they're just better than they used to be. The Togian Babirusa is going to go all the way up to... I think it's just C tier. You can put that new banana perk on it and turn it into a 4-3 ant. But I just think it's a bit icky to play with, you know? Tooth-billed pigeon. This is this pigeon, but it gives opposite breadcrumbs. Instead of giving attack, the seed piles give health. I'll put the pigeons next to each other. But now it actually looks like this one is like, has upset this pigeon, and this pigeon, is like, you keep taking my seed pile. And then this pigeon's, but I'm out of bread. This is bad roleplay. Is he out of breadcrumbs? He doesn't. It looks like he ate them all. In comparison, this guy's packing some weight. Tsuchinoko pops off with jump lines, and I think it's not a great unit. I don't think it's a bad unit. Let's go perfectly C tier. Umbrella Bird being able to daze pets is super cool and opens up a whole lot of like interesting possibilities. But I think overall, it's just like, if you're playing the game generically, you're not going to take this guy. Volcano Snail, one of Grounded Sap's new favorite pets. Also one of my favorite pets. I think it's bad. I think it's just a bad unit, and it's E tier. Weevil can really do some things. I think it's worthy of a B tier selection. It is, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to activate this ability, not just the new foodie kind of lines. And I think it's just good. And just like that, you blink and we're done with tier 1. 26 and a half minutes. I think I've been fairly analytical. I don't think I've made one single mistake. Let's keep rolling. We're on to tier 2. The African penguin. I still to this day I'm unsure about how that exists, but from what I understand, it's more of the south part of Africa. It would be a bit hot. I mean, they're basically wearing like, you know, like the Slavic outfits, like the matching Adidas kits, like the matching sweatshirt and sweaters combo. That's basically what they're wearing. You think that Northern Africa would be a bit too hot? It's a 1-3 unit that gives 3 stats out on a buy. I think it's one of the better tier 2s. I'm tempted to put it A tier, but I think B tier is where it will sit. The albino squirrel is a weird unit. It is a cell pet, which works with certain mechanics later in the game. It discounts gold. I think it's a weird unit. I think there are not many scenarios where you roll and you see an albino squirrel and you're like, that's the pet that's going to take me to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's possible. Let's go E tier. I don't think it's that good. The Araripe mannequin is a friends transform. It gets health. It can get comically large amounts of health. I don't think you really want to take it into the late game, but I don't think it's that. You know, I'm going to go D tier. I'm fairly down on the concept of transforms, which is weird because I was part of the testing, but I'm just sorry, that's where I land. We get to the Atlantic Puffin, which is one of my personal, like, my soft spot units. And there are rumors of a buff coming, but until that buff comes, I think it gives you early tempo in a strawberry line. Outside of its pack, it's not that good. The Bass is a phenomenal unit. That is, can I be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen? It's bordering on S tier. It's just, it's so close. Some people, when you're talking about the greatest of all time, would mention the Bass's name. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to keep my composure. And I'm going to put all the pets back exactly where they were. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how everything was. I had a break. I made a caramel coffee, of all things. I was actually thinking during my break, I'm doing 517 pets, right? And you already know that like half of the comments are going to be people like ignoring the other 516 and focusing on one and being like, I can't believe you did this. That's the beauty of tier lists. That everyone is upset after this, including me, the creator. we're back into it. The bat recently had a change. You got to give props to Grounded, man. He's actually updated all of these basically instantly. Like, love that guy. The bat now gives weakness after attack. At first, I was like, oh no, that sucks. I actually think it's kind of good still. I think it's B. A B for bat. Beluga Sturgeon, facilitated by the pill and the pill bug. Not in its own pack, of course, but the pill in its own pack is like quite functional in battle and also to facilitate a pivot. I have the hiccups. Good timing to get hiccups in the middle of a 5-hour tier list. Bigfoot is pretty much an instant take if your pack doesn't have direction. I know I'm giving a lot of Bs here, but I think the Stilt is also a really good pet. Both of these three pets that I've just put in B tier are all pretty much the same. They're like, this will provide me utility right now for low cost and can hang around for a while. It can just stick in the team for a bit. Chupacabra used to be a powerhouse. It is now nerfed. I think there is very little reason to take it. I think it recently received a stat buff. It's the classic, like, too strong, got nerfed too weak, and now it's Goldilocks its way into a D tier unit. The crab, speaking of buffs, I love the old crab. I was a crab defender. I will now be a crab respecter. I think the new crab is actually fairly decent and can be part of your endgame team. So let's go. It might be A tier now because you used to have no reason to buff its own health, but now with this ability you can. So it can be like your early powerhouse. Darwin's Fox, I love this guy. I made a video on it. I think for the most part, it's not guaranteed to be good. So let's go. D tier. Desert Rainfrog has insane pop-off potential. Like, I believe it can be done where you can get like a turn 3 level 2 deer. Right? But I think generally speaking, it's just meh. I think Doorhead Ant is pretty close to being A tier, but I will put it B tier. One of the stronger ones. Dove in its own pack, perhaps if you have a hummingbird, can be instant tempo, but I think generally speaking, it's not so bad that it's an E, but it's not quite a C. Thus, it shall be a D. Am I recording? I absolutely am recording. Dromedary, I put A tier last time. I think it is a great unit. You know what? Honestly, I think it is A tier. The Drop Bear, my Australian bias wants me to put it S tier, but instead, I think it's C. I think it's fine. The Dumbo is a fun unit. I will put it C tier based purely on its 2-5 stat line. That is a very good stat line for tier 2. The ability is fun. I don't think it's stronger than C. Dung Beetle can do a lot of damage. It can do a lot of damage. But I hate it with all of my heart, and for that reason, C tier. European Mink is a weird adjacent friend attacked. It's sort of weird outside of a danger pack only battle. I think I'm going to put it D tier. Giving stats in battle probably keeps it above the E tier. I think the Farmer Chicken is horrible. Even if you're committing to the corn cob line, I can't believe I'm saying this, 31-year-old man, I still think it's just bad. Flamingo is an A tier unit. It's so strong. And have a look at this synergy, by the way. We're almost achieving the optimal bell curve. Almost. And I shouldn't really try to factor that in as I'm going through this process, but be honest with me, it's kind of nice, innit, bruv? Frigate Bird recently received... Did it get changed and then unchanged, or did Grounded not update it? Either way, old Frigate Bird, new Frigate Bird. I think it's not a bad unit to have on your team. There's a lot of ailments in this game now. I think it has a place. Frostwolf, thank God, was nerfed recently. This was as S tier as they come. When I did my... Okay, we're back. I'm sure I have placed everything in correct order. And I'm not mad at all. The Frostwolf recently changed. What is the new Frostwolf? I'm going to go C tier. Now, Fruit Fly is a unit that Grounded Sap and I are extremely partial to. When it first released, I made a video on it about how it's insanely cracked. And you think a 1/1 unit that gives a blueberry to the opposite enemy and then deals a little bit of damage? That's useless, right? Hayfront unit with Seaweed early in the game. Grounded Sap was terrorizing the Customs Arena for a 2-week period with the Fruit Fly. No Seaweed for you. Hey buddy, nice melon or coconut or pepper or lemon. How about you now become a blueberry? It's so good. It is the absolute monster hiding in plain sight. No one respects it except the real ones, you know? Gargoyle gives a comical amount of stats with the right units. I think it's pretty close to A tier, but I will go B tier. Gazelle in its pack is like S tier. Incredible unit. Outside of its pack, it can get a bit icky, but I think it's so good it needs to be a B, and we now have our first new line. Congratulations to B. We all love B. Ghost Kitten is one of my favorite units. You can take it into the late game. It can win you battles. It's awkward. I'm going to go B tier for it. The Giant Squirrel, the best video I've ever made, featured a giant squirrel. I'm pretty close to putting it F tier, but I think I'll put it E. The Goldfish is a pivot enabler. Used to be tier 3, now tier 2. It gives you gold later, but you are definitely going to lose lives. I think there's better ways to generate pivots in this game. So I think it is an E tier unit. The Golden Beetle might be better than I give it credit for, but I just don't think it's one of the options you'd want to take. And I think it's actually E tier. The Guinea Pig. For a regular unit, you would need to buy 6 of that unit to get a level 3. With the Guinea Pig, you only need to buy 3 of them. I think it is incredible. My long debate here is factoring in if I want to put it S tier. God damn it. I think I'm going to. Guinea Pig's S tier. It's so good. It's at the point where you just have to take it. If you find it early, you have to take it. And for that reason, it basically has to be S tier. Hedgehog went running away. Iconic unit. It was my profile picture on YouTube for a long time. I think it's a good unit. I think it's a B unit. You could make a solid case that it's an A tier unit. But I will not be making that case today. No sir, no way. Let's move on. The Herc Beetle, I don't think it's bad. In fact, I think it's quite good. It can help. It can help. It's like a mini pivoter. I'll respect it to C tier. I might have to change my camera settings a bit. Hold up. I'm going to do some editing on the fly. God damn it, Rev, you're making it worse. Rev, you're actually making it worse. How about that? No, that's way worse. Wait, I'm not in streamer mode. Am I in streamer mode? This is really riveting viewing, I'm sure. Oh, I wasn't in streamer mode. Rev, you're such an idiot. No, I wanted it more like that. Wait. In fact, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know. Time is a valuable thing. Watch it count down as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down as a tick life away. As a tick life's away, I try. So things aren't. I think I mixed and matched some verses. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me. The Hermit Crab's a new unit. It copies its perk to the Golden Retriever when the Golden Retriever comes. I think you can do some fun things with this, but I think it's just sort of like an E-tier pet. I love the Honduran White Bat. It generates some easy trumpets early. It's like a low investment, instant impact kind of pet, but you don't keep it very long. So it's D. Iguana can either be useless or can be it's like LeBron James in one battle, the next game, Greg Oden. So I would love to put it A tier, but I think B tier is probably fair. Jackalope, I don't know. This guy can get scary early, helping out jump pets. It's like Steve Nash with jump pets, and without jump pets, it's like Johnny Flynn. God, we're getting some basketball deep cuts. D. It's not E. It's not C. The jellyfish, the former powerhouse. Since it got nerfed to being friend-only level up and not counting... It used to be, remember, if your opponent got battle ups or got level ups in battle, the jellyfish would benefit. Which was just cracked. And now I think it settles comfortably in C tier. On an XP line, you're talking A tier, but you're not. Kangaroo, as an Australian, I should love this pet, but in versus, it wreaks havoc on me. It is so strong. A tier. The koala, the new koala is so much better than people realize. I've got news for you, weekly players or custom players or star pack players. If you get an early unit that is just like supremely statted, like you get an early buff target that pops off, buy a koala in your team and watch the difference it makes. That one unit is now getting like 3 attacks. I think it's wildly underrated, and I'll put it B. The lemur is low investment impact. Low investment, good impact. I'll put it B. I think the lizard also settles on a B. You can make an argument the lizard is A. But I think B is about right. The mandrill, really good in its pack on a certain line. I think this is C or D, and I'm going to go D, honestly. I say that, puppy pack players, don't get mad. I'm acknowledging the pop-off potential of the mandrill, but in my tier list, it will pop to a D. The mink is a fun unit that I wish wasn't in every blind random pack I ever did. D. Mothman can get absurdly statted in certain packs, but I think overall, if this was in a weekly or a custom kind of pack, you're probably not Mothmanning, so let's go D. Can you even see? How am I going to like do this later so you can actually see the screen? Who knows? Nightcrawler can give you some tempo. It works in summon lines. I don't think it's a bad pet. I think it's C. Ogopogo is... They technically nerfed it. It's still incredible. I think it's an A tier unit. The Olm? What is this? What is this? Like, seriously, what is that? I'm going to have to Google this. What is an Olm? What is an Olm? An ancient species of salamander? Dude, it looks like an axolotl without eyes. Oh, hell no. Those things are... Slovenia's love affair? Can you even... Wait. Have a look at this. Oh, hell no. I wish I didn't Google that. I regret it so much. I think the Olm can... Have you seen videos with the Olm? Like, Grounded did it. Wombat was running these builds for a while. It can have pop-off potential, but I think it's generally a weird unit to build around. So let's go C. The Panda, I'm tempted to put this really high, but I think I'll go C. The setup time is so strong, the payoff can be huge. Peacock recently nerfed. Everyone in Turtle Pack's still going to keep taking it, so let's go B. Pink Robin. One of the most glorious sprites in the game. One of the most creative pets. And you know how you know this is a special pet? When it's basically Grounded Sap and Andy Nomus's favorite pets. The two most creative arena players that have ever touched this game. It's their favorite pet. But in terms of strength, I'm going to put it D. But know that that is a respectful D. This guy is like transforming the pet ahead after, I guess it... In its own pack, it's fine. Outside of it, I think it's a C tier unit. The Pygmy Hog is a good fella. The problem is, you can't take it late game, because once it gets above 15-15 stats, it actively regresses on transform. So, maybe D's about right. I love the rat. I really love it. Incredible stat line. You can do fun things with it. I think it's D tier. The Robin recently received a buff. And we love that for the Robin. Ooh, rockin' Robin. Tweet. Tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin. Tweet. Ooh, Rockin' Robin, you're gonna go in D tier because it forces you to run a 4-squad. Seika Falcon, a new Danger Pack unit that is instantly shot towards being one of my favorite pets. If you haven't tried Seika Falcon, you need to try it. It's like when my friends come to Indonesia and there's like this certain type of salted egg chicken that I make them. You have to try it. If this hasn't been in a weekly pack and you don't have Danger Pack, comment down below. I'll sort you out. I want you to try Seika Falcon. On top of that, I think it's a phenomenal unit. You can get some incredible wins, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat with the Seika Falcon. Salamander... The new Salamander is probably better than people would realize, and the 1-1 stat line and the weird ability might throw you off. But I think it's actually C tier. If you have other cell pets on your board, you now instantly have a big unit. I think you say Sayola, right? I was calling it a Soala or something. Sayola. It's like the tier 2 moose. I've had fun with this pet. I think it's pretty bad, and it's D tier. Sea Turtle, if you have any other summon pets working around it, you're going to do damage. So let's go B. Sea Urchin is also a B. Just a good unit. Seahorse, it used to be in Star Pack. Now it's in Customs only. I never see anyone running it in Customs. It truly is a forgotten pet. But you know me, man. Anything that can mess with your opponent's order, it just holds up. It just works. The Last Enemy. Hey, Spino. Hey, Turkey. Hey, Vulture. Hey, anything good? You're now moved forward, and I'll put it C. The Shima Inaga is good in summon lines, but it's so reliant on the pack and strawberries that I think D tier is where it will sit. Shrimp, ever since Shrimp was nerfed to have a trigger limit, I think it is not that good, both in puppy pack and outside. But it does give permanent health, so maybe D tier is about right. The Snail. The Snail is so good in Turtle Pack. If you don't play Versus and you only play Arena, in Versus, if a Turtle Pack player draws on turn 1, they will intentionally try to lose turn 2 to get Snail value from turn 3. And so even, let's say I'm playing Star Pack, my opponent's playing Turtle Pack. If we draw in turn 1, now not only the Turtle player, but me as well, I have to try and lose turn 2 because I don't want to give them Snail value. There aren't many tier 2s that warp the game like that. So I'm going A tier. And now I have to zoom out again. You know what? I might just pause to do it. I'm back. Can we take a second to acknowledge, like, we're not even close to being done? And the pets are almost, like, you almost can't even see the pets already. Oh, this is going to be good. Sphinx. I think the 2 toys it provides are actually quite good. And it's a low investment. And it has a 2-5 stat line. So I think I'm actually going to put it B tier. I think it's a good unit. Spider is stupidly strong. Like, stupidly strong. It's tempo. It gives you ability to get to level 2, pill, get it level 2 tier 3. It works in summon lines. It can be your buff target. A tier, S tier. Spider is S tier. It's one of the best units in this game relative to tier. The squid had a real, like, moment. And now I rarely see it. Even the Golden Pack players, I don't see using it much, at least the ones that I face. I think it's B tier, respectfully. The Stoat will probably lose you turns while you set it up, but can give a lot of pop-off potential. I'm actually... I think it's B tier. Again, I'm not going to get too lost in the sauce about, like, what I have previously put in and trying to maintain my beautiful bell curve. You just got to believe in the heart of the card sometimes. The Stork was as S tier as they come, probably the best unit in the game for a long time. And then it got nerfed, and then it got nerfed again. And I got news for you, man. It's still good. It's still B tier at worst. Swan is A tier. You might lose a turn or two getting it off the ground, but it's what's the opposite of a depreciating asset? An appreciating asset? I don't know, but it's just good. Tabby Cat, good in its pack, can actually work with stuff like Hummingbird and Pheasant outside of its pack. I think it's actually, like, helpful, and it's C tier. The Tadpole, my god. Transform into a level 1 frog, so it works in XP lines. Start a battle. I think you're just better off looking elsewhere, but it's not bad. The Taita Shrew turns into a weasel. I think it's no lower than C tier. I don't feel like it belongs with these other pets in B tier, so C tier probably is where it is. It's not a bad unit whatsoever. Taki is a feint pet that summons our mate, the first pet of this tier list, the wild dog, African wild dog. Taki is a pretty good unit. It's very disruptive. And I think it's B tier. No, I'll put it C tier just because there's other summon pets in tier 2 that are probably better. Thunderbird, +3 mana is huge. It's just... Thunderbird just wins you early matches. And if you get mana synergy later, this guy can stick around. So let's go B tier. The Toucan recently received a buff. I think ailments can mess with it a lot in terms of its maximum effectiveness, but I think it's no lower than C tier. You could argue this is B or A, but I'll go C. The Vervet is free tempo. Microwave oven. Pizza delivery. You know that song? Vervet, I think, is a C, arguably B tier pet. You know what? Popcorn's... It's probably B tier. Vervet is actually really good. The Wharf, speaking of pets that got nerfed and then potentially nerfed again, and also it had a name nerf. It used to be the Warg. I think it's... If you base your whole pack around it, it can be okay. If not, D tier. A 4-2 in the White-Bellied Heron that gives a meat bone a head is C tier at worst. Maybe B. Let's go C. Wombat, my favorite pet, that got the most unjustified nerf in Super Auto Pets history. Super Auto Pets devs, I won't say your names as to open you up to attacks, even though people could find you. Anyway, I love you guys so much, but the Wombat nerf is inexplicable. It is inexplicable. It is a part of my... Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now. There have been a few moments in life where part of my soul has permanently died. I'm going to tell you 4 of them. The first one, when I was a young lad, I was a very good Australian footballer. And my team, my juniors team, was absolutely horrible. But I was loyal and I stuck with them. And it wasn't until I was 21 years old that I was actually in a good team. And we made it to the grand final. I'd been waiting my whole life for this moment. We lost by 12 goals. That's like in soccer, that's like losing 5-2. In NBA, it's like losing by 18 points. We got smashed. Part of my soul died that day. I was driving home from the game crying. I pulled up to a set of traffic lights and I'm literally crying. Like, I had put so much weight and expectation into this moment and it just all came out in that moment. I won the award for best player for my team that day and it literally felt empty. I pull up to the traffic lights. I turn to the left. There is a car full. The driver is the coach of the team that beat us and then 4 players in the car. And they look over at me and they knew me and they like waved and you can tell they felt horrible. And I just like, it was so clear that I'd been crying. Part of my soul died that day. Part of my soul died later that day, that same day. My favorite band, Northlane, the singer Adrian left the band. Talk about a horrible day. That was on the same day. Lost the grand final. Adrian left Northlane. The third time part of my soul died is when the final season of Game of Thrones. D&D, David Benioff and the other guy, DB, whatever his name is, they wanted to go off and do Star Wars, so they rushed the last season of Game of Thrones. The greatest series in TV history for 5 seasons. Arguably, I've watched Sopranos, I've watched Breaking Bad, I've watched parts of The Wire. You could make a case Game of Thrones was the best series ever, and it dropped off so hard, it gave such an incomplete, empty feeling. Arya kills the Night King? Are you kidding me? What was Azor Ahai about then? Part of my soul died during that, and the 4th time part of my soul died is when you guys nerfed the Wombat for no reason. Like, yes, you guys had, like, you have your Super Auto Pets devs. Again, I want to reinforce this. I love you so much, and I know you use a statistical model to decide what should be nerfed and what shouldn't be nerfed. The reason the Wombat stats were so high because I was playing it. My favorite pet, which objectively at best was like a B tier pet beforehand, it has a high win rate because I'm that guy. And now I'm punished for making an average pet look good. The new Wombat is an E tier unit. And it hurts me to do that. Worm. D works in food lines. It just feels meh. When I did my top 10 Super Auto Pets video, I copped a lot of heat for putting the Wyvern as the 3rd best unit in the game. I will not apologize for my tone tonight. The Wyvern is so damn good. I'll acknowledge, in versus play and competitive 1v1, it is not as valuable because it can be a little bit slow. In arena, the Wyvern makes you high roll. If you don't believe me, make a custom pack with it, or use it when it's in the weekly if you're a weekly player, and watch every level up give you everything you've ever wanted. And it'll feel like a high roll, but it's not. It's just the Wyvern makes you high roll. This is a hill that I will die on. On to Yak. Removed from Star Pack. Now it's customs only. I think it works really well with units like the Frog. I think it's just a lot of stats for a few rounds, if nothing else. But it does get tricky to manage, like keeping the Yak alive, and you end up having to give it stats on its health which then get depreciated. That's today's word of the day. It's C tier. I enjoy the Aardvark very, very much. It's probably good in certain weekly packs, but overall, it's almost never worth running. The Amani Rabbit, I made a video with it. Giorgio, as I call him. Giorgio. Oh, wait, it's Amami? It's not even Amani. Oh, you know what? I'm still calling him Giorgio. The man that I said looked like a wallet. You know those people that have just seen a bit too much sun in their life and now they're a little bit older and the wrinkliness plus the excessive sun makes their face look like a sultana? That's our friend Giorgio Armani. The Amani Rabbit, or the Amami Rabbit, I think is a pretty worthwhile unit to have in your team. I think it's C. I actually had a really interesting versus game where they were running big Amami Rabbit and I realized I can just use a Piranha with Pepper. And this becomes actively bad. So I think C is about right. In the aforementioned top 10 video, I put the Anteater as the Wyvern as the third best pet in Super Auto Pets. I put the Anteater fourth. I stand by my decision. It works as instant tempo. If you pill it and sell the ants, it becomes a pivot unit. And you can keep it in your game until you're in your pack until the end if you're running a summon line. It's the jack of all trades, master of all trades. You know what I'm saying? Incredible unit. I have no qualms putting that S tier. Axe Handle Hound has a new unit that, if you're lucky, is incredible. If not, it's pretty garbage. The Babusi was nerfed in recent times. I think it's still fine. It might be B tier. I'll put it C tier. Badger is so good, dude. A tier. I won't even hesitate to do that. Not quite S tier, but it's really close and it's a bona fide A tier. The Barnacle is just a weird unit that I think can be fun, but I also don't like whatsoever. E. The Bear is a 3/5 unit that is now in Golden Pack. It has a home. It has a base pack. We've talked a lot about pets that have become homeless, like the Yak and the Seahorse. The Bear found a home. I think it's cute. I think it's not that good. The Betterfish, formerly one of the best units in the game. Like, genuinely, it didn't make my top 10, but it probably would have made the top 20. Is now temp stats. So I think it's D tier now. It's still fine. You just can't pill it anymore, which sucks. Bilby is a new unit. I'm just realizing that there were 515 pets when you remove all the tokens, and then I added 2 for Bilby and Hermit Crab, because Grounded said they weren't in there yet, but now he's put them in, so actually it's 515 pets. Bilby, new unit, very new. Anyone gained ailment, give garlic perk to the frontmost perkless friend. I think there are use cases for this. I think most of them are bad. It's D tier. The Blue Dragon, I think, is a very underrated pet. It can give you mana, it can give you trumpets, it has a 3/4 stat line. It's instant tempo. You can make it work in a variety of builds. I think it's a really strong B tier unit. The Blue-Throated Macaw is cracked in its own pack with no transforms. It's just a 3/4 and a dream. Brain Cramp. Any Super Auto Gaming viewers will know that Brain Cramp was the bane of this man and many weekly players' existence for a long time, and I'm going to put it A tier. So strong. The same concept as Ox, like tier 3 melon. Strong. Caladrius can do some fun things with mana pets. I think it's a C tier unit. It's fine. Cali Greyhound is like the tier 3 skunk with more conditions, but also arguably more upside. Cali Greyhounds is really good. And this is where you're like, Rev, you're a hypocrite. Down here you've put things like Dove and other things that are reliant on their own pack synergies. Dude, I don't care. Get one mana pet in whatever pack you're playing and the Cali Greyhound pops off. Camel is another victim of a double nerf, I believe. It's been nerfed twice, right? Like, its ability got nerfed, and then its stat line got nerfed. And guess what? It's still just good. It's not as good, but it's still good. Whoo, capybara. Capybara. Oh man, it's close to S tier. I think I'll put it A, but my god, it's knocking on the door. If I was ranking within the tiers, Cappy would be up there. And you can stay there, mate. You've earned it. Cardinal's helpful. I think Cardinal is at worst a B tier unit. At worst, you're going to buy it for a couple of rounds and get a sausage on sale, a snag on sale as I call it, or maybe a free seaweed, or maybe a garlic, and then it's going to be on its way. Cassowary is great in its pack and bad outside of it. Am I wrong? But if that's the case, really good in its pack, pretty useless outside of it, it gets a C tier, right? Yes, that is C tier. Centipede can be your guy, your buff target for a while. I think it's pretty average though. I don't feel good about having it in this tier. Do I want to move the Babushi up? No, C's fine. Dear Lord, it's funny, right? Like something like a Better Fish nerf is actually an indirect nerf to the Dear Lord. It's basically a mantis that gives bacon and gets a little bit weirder positioning. Dear Lord is probably C. I might put it D. The Dimetrodon is instant tempo and is actually versatile tempo. I think it's an A tier unit. Dimetrodon, it has that similar quality to the Anteater. Like, just buy it and you'll probably win the next turn. Dodo was nerfed and then buffed. Nerfed and then buffed? The high level potential is insane, but I'll tell you something. It takes a lot of investment to get a Dodo off the ground. If you get it off the ground, it's fantastic. I'm going to put it D tier. Like, you need to get it at level 2 before it's providing you value. And it's only a 3-2. So you're pumping 6 gold in just to get it to level 2. A bunch of scaling stats in to get it functional. And then maybe by turn 7 it's making a difference. Dog annoys me so much, but I will respect it as an A tier unit. And I'm going to say nothing more because I don't want to talk about the dog. Dolphin is a great deterrent. Like, your opponent, whether it's a one-on-one or if you're playing in like a weekly pack, for example, and there's a Scorpion, your opponent will be hesitant to buy the Scorpion if they know Dolphins are in the waters. The Scorpion in this scenario is also in the waters. I think Dolphin's B. I really like Dolphin. I'm tempted to put it A, but I won't. The Eel is another former Star Pack pet that is now homeless. It can get really healthy really quick. I think it's like a C tier unit, to be honest. Elephant Blowfish, Elephant No Fish, D tier. From a versus perspective, Elephant is just so counterable. If you're playing anything other than like Danger Pack or Turtle Pack, and you have pets that can give ailments, Elephant becomes really bad. Maybe I'm Star Pack biased there, but tip to the wise, if you're playing versus and you're on Turtle Pack, never ever buy an Elephant into Star Pack. Emperor Tamarin ain't what it used to be. It's now nerfed. You never want to get it to level 3. E tier. Farmer Pig is going to give some corn cobs. Start a battle. It's good in the corn cob line. It's a 3-4 that's giving 2 stats. So it's like, think of it like a 4-5. It's Was I up to the Farmer Pig? I feel like I was. Now let's never do that again. Oh my god. Farmer Pig. Farmer Piggy, Piggy, Piggy. Farmer Piggy, Pig. I think D. You know, it's probably C. The Flea. is as S tier can get. Incredible unit. Absolutely incredible in its pack and outside. The Flying Fish is more cracked than many players would realize, and I like that it's next to the Dolphin. They sort of look related. Flying Squirrel in its own pack is A tier, arguably S. Outside of it, let's go C, the same concept as Cassowary. Red Foo, aka Foo Dog. We love what you're about. We love what you've done for us. It can, getting it to level 2 can give you like an insanely strong board once you get to that tier that it's buffing. I think it's either C. If I've put Baboon C, I'm going to put this C. The Fur-Bearing Trout, aka Flame 96's nickname in high school. A 3-5 that gives Rambutan back is probably C at worst. I think Gerenuk is absurdly cracked. We all know how important perks are. In the words of Grounded Sap, stats are worth a lot more when they are protected. And the Gerenuk takes away that protection. It is a worthwhile addition to any pack. I'm going to put it A. I think it's such a game changer. Giraffe, another Turtle Pack recipient of a nerf. I think you're still fine taking Giraffe in a lot of situations, but it's just sort of in that tier of like Foo Dog, Babusi, like mid tier 3 scaler. The Great Putu can be weirdly good, but generally is not, I think, D. The Griffin, how do I even rank the Griffin? I think based on the fact that it has insane long-term potential if things break right. But if not, it's a 5-4. 5 attack, 4 health, insane base stats. It is a C tier unit. Guinea Fowl can give you trumpet tempo. You can actually scale it and keep it around for a while. I think it's a B. Not quite A, but B. Oh, the hair is so pack and opponent dependent. This can be S tier 1 match, F the next. But I'm not going to put it in the middle C. I'm going to move it towards B. I think it's quite a strong pet. And now we get Hatching Chick. So Hatching Chick was the glaring omission from my top 10 pets video. I forgot about it when I was making it. And it probably should be in there. At level 1, it's instant tempo. At level 2, it's permanent stats. At level 3, it's experience. Oh my god. Let's think about this together. Let's put it in A. Does it belong with these other pets? Or is it just better than them? And I think even comparing the most recent tier 3s, which are all fantastic, I think Hatching Chick reigns supreme and belongs in the premium S tier status. So what? We're this many pets in, I've put 8 S tier units, and I think I feel good about all of them. 3 tier 1s, 3 tier 2s. We have a trend here. 3 tier 3s. Let's see if any other tier 3s break in. The Hirola is a summon pet that summons 2 units, which I think is really strong in certain summon lines, and I think it's a B tier. I think it's a pretty good unit. The Hoopoe Bird is... It can't be lower than C. I don't think it's quite as good as many of these. You know what? It probably is. It's a B tier unit. The Jewel Caterpillar is a weird trumpet-based pivot enabler. I think it's generally pretty bad, E tier. Leech is better than C tier. It's not better than B because it's pack dependent, but it is absolutely a B tier unit. And now I need to zoom out again. Oh, brother. This is going to be absolutely, like, unintelligible at some point soon. Let's go this. What if I do this? You can't even see it. Alright, good luck to us, eh? This is just going to become audio only at some point soon. Lucky Cat is really good in its pack. It's a B tier unit. Mana Hound, a 5-3 that gives mana on rolls. I'm going to put it... It's probably B tier. It's really strong. The Mandrake can take a lot to get off the ground, but similar to the Gerenuk, can be an absolute game changer, but I think it's less consistent than Gerenuk, so I'll put it B. The Meerkat is a big... What's the word? It starts with the letter D. That, oh my god. I didn't even mention this, but I'm working on like 3.5 hours sleep. And it's late at night when I'm recording this. What's that word? It causes like a lot of disagreements. It's a diff. It's a... I'm not moving on from this. We're going to think of this word. Not discriminator. Polarizing? No. I keep thinking differentiator, but that's not the word. It's not discrepancy. Let's just go with polarizing. It's a polarizing unit. Some people think it's really good. Some people hate it. I guess it lands in C tier. Molly. It's a pretty good pet. C tier. The monkey face bat is one of mine and many people's new favorite units. I actually don't think it's like overly that good. It's actually kind of good though, like if you know that snipes are coming or your team's going to hurt itself with like Woodpecker, I guess C. Muskox, former S tier unit, now is a C tier unit. It's free tempo. It falls off at some point. Okapi, I want to believe in, but I don't. Orangutan, I love. I think it is better than the other scalers that I've put in C, like Baboon and Foodog. And Giraffe, I think it's better. So it falls there. Osprey, it pops off with summon lines and trumpet lines. I'm actually tempted to I'm going to put Osprey A. It has the ability at level 3 late game to summon 3 units. You got it with a Spino or a Toad or something, and you're doing great things. Another nerfed unit. We're seeing a trend. Ouroboros. Of all people, Tom Gomes tried to get it going with Ouroboros. I think it's good in role builds, and even then it's not that good in role builds. You're better off doing other role builds, so let's go E tier. Owl is a solid C. It works in 4 squads. It basically means you start with 11 gold every turn, but then it forces you to run a 4 squad. So there you go. Ox. I put Ox like C tier when I first did this. What was I thinking? Same concept as Brain Cramp. Turn 3 Melon. Incredible. Ox is so good into other packs other than Turtle Pack. What's that? You're going to give me a weakness? Let me override that with a Melon. I wish all sicknesses were that easy to cure. Pangolin, good in its pack. I guess, is it on the same level as like a Cassowary and stuff? I guess it is. It's a lot of health, man. You can't even read that, can you? You can't read it. It gives 4 health at level 1, which is good. The Patagonian Mara wins you battles early, and it wins you a lot of them. It's B tier. The Pony, as much as I want to believe that this is a C tier or better, it just isn't on the level of these pets, and it's a D tier unit. The Porcupine is pretty solid. I'll go C tier. Pug, I'm higher on Pug than most. I just like the guy. I would go for a cup of coffee with the Pug, talk about life. It would give me life experience. But only if I was ahead of him. Remember earlier I said that parts of my soul have permanently died 4 times? That might be the 5th. I still think Pug's a B tier unit. It's just good. Whoo! Puppy, man. A. I can give your front unit weakness on a 2 gold buy sell later in the game. I can keep it on board and get free lasagnas. Puppy's really good. It used to be different. What the old ability was like, it would self-scale if you had gold left at the end of the turn. It was something like that, right? It synergized with the old T-Rex. OG stat players, you know what I'm talking about. New stat players, all you need to know is that the new puppy is really good and the old one was weird. Pygmy Hippo, I think this unit is not bad, but I think if you're treating this, let me make sure I say this right. The Pygmy Hippo is not bad, but if you're treating it as being a really good unit, your run will die. D tier. I'm cooking. Quail is cheap stats. I struggle to put it below C tier. Queen Bee, one of our most fun units, giving stats to bees. Where's the bear? I put bear E tier. I can't put Queen Bee E tier. I'll put it D just because it's so singular. The Quetzalcoatlus is flaming. I was going to say a bad word. It sucks, man. It's E tier. I'll put it... I can't put it F because it has a 4-6 stat line. Here we have another double nerfer. The rabbit used to be unlimited triggers, and then it went to 4 times per turn, and then it went to 3 times per turn. If you're not tapped into the competitive scene, Turtle Pack just became rabbit isolation boards, which means you don't run 5 pets. You run 1 or 2 rabbits, usually 1, leveled as quickly as you can, with 1 or 2 other units, and you're just spamming salads and apples, and you're buy-selling pigeons. The reason they moved it to 3 is because now it removes the end game viability. Like, 1 sushi uses up all its triggers. And with all that in mind, I think it's a B unit. Roadrunner's going to give a strawberry an attack backwards when it dies. I think it's sort of... It's not like other strawberry units in that it has to be in a strawberry pack. It can just stand on its own as a C tier unit. Rollaway Monkey is the bane of my existence. It's a good unit. It's A tier. It's one of the few danger pack pets that will get up there. Flycatcher needs to go right alongside the Iguana. Same concept, can win you matches, can do nothing. Game to game, you don't know. The Sage Grouse works with the Pheasant, and if it's in a pack without Pheasant or without Strawberry synergies, it's bad. It's E tier. Holy smokes, this is a tough one. I need a second here. I've already taken an hour 22 of your time. I think the Sarcastic Fringe Head, I was going to put it over here next to the Quetzalcoatlus that I can't see all of a sudden. Wait, let me put him in D tier where he belongs. Where's my Quetzalcoatlus? He's down here. You get an E tier, buddy. These two are made to be, right? Sarcastic Fringe Head and Quetzalcoatlus, but the Fringe Head is just better, only a bit. I love the guy. I really do. Like a Pink Robin. I love him. He's not winning you too many games. Sheep. Baba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Scaly dog, does it belong with baboon? It has weird faint synergies, but I think it goes here. Slime is a fine pet, works in summon teams. Is it tier C or is it tier D? Does it hold up to the level of a Harola? No. Does it hold up to the level of a something? I think Slime's actually not bad. I'll go say. Spoon Build Sandpiper. My mate, your mate, the SBS. That's actually a news network or a television network in Australia. There's not much good stuff on there, but they're trying. Much like the Spoon Build Sandpiper is trying to give a minuscule amount of stats, I think it is still scaling, so it's D tier. Sugar Glider is free tempo, and I think you usually can win some turns with it. I'll put it C. Surgeon Fish in its own pack is great. Outside of it, it's not good. You know the rhythm, you know the melody, and I've got the melody. It's an experience, and it's a dangerous liaison. You've got the comedy. It's very serious, and it's a dangerous new play on words. I said the tragedy is how you're gonna. Any Jason Mraz fans? The rest of your life with the lights on. and shine the light on all of your friends. But it all amounts to nothing in the end. Ah. I think this guy's kind of good. It's like a tier 3 kangaroo. I think it's B tier. Tatzelworm causes problems, but there are better options to do this role later. So I think C is fine. Toad is A tier, and I'm so close to putting it S tier. I'm so serious. Toad is absolutely cracked. I'm putting it up with... In fact, I'm putting it ahead of Capybara. And I said I wasn't going to rank within tiers, but I just think the Toad is cracked. The tree is fine. I think it has a similar... Okay, so here's the problem. It gets coconut on tier 3. That's insane. But it's just messy to play around, and you have to bring in like Meerkat or other units to facilitate it being great. And I just think D is fine. Tree Kangaroo, incredibly fun. It loses value and is not fun. Does not travel well into the late game. It's C or D. I think I'll go D. I'm so back, and I'm just not upset at all. Chopfish is solid scaling. Would I put it above Babusi? I would not. The Takushi, my mate, your mate Takushi, I think it's a lot of stats, and I think it's pretty easy to incorporate, and it's a B. Tuna, I love the guy. You're better off going different directions usually, so D. Wasp, you already know where the Wasp is going. It doesn't have to fly or buzz far. It goes straight into F tier. Horrible, horrible, horrible unit. The Weasel, if the Swan is A tier, the Weasel is A tier. They can go side by side. Wait, we're done. We're done with tier 3s. Oh my god. How am I going to make it through this video, dude? Alright, we're on to tier 4s. Bismillah. Abomination, it has a lot of requirements, but can just be insane. You know, like the infected player video? He essentially had a 100-100 leopard in a battle. If you don't know how that works, just search Abomination Super Auto Pets and watch infected players video and prepare to have your mind blown. I think because of the requirements, I feel good with putting it B. This guy will give mana to summon a toy that will give mana to the middle pet. That toy is called Ocarina. I think it's a solid unit and it's C. Amazon River Dolphin is cracked. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Cracked. It's A tier and it's pretty close to S. Andrew Sarchis is horrible. I want to give a shout out to Not a Game Devlog here. I was recently doing a very rare Twitch stream, and somebody said something about Andrew, and I said, the only Andrew I acknowledge is Andrew Tate of Hustlers University, to which Not a Game Devlog said, the only Andrew I acknowledge is Andrew Sarchis. And we will acknowledge it in F tier. It's horrible. Angel Shark's going to give all friends, a stat to their highest stat. It's not a bad scaler. It's not great. It's probably a C. The Anubis, let's be honest. It went from meme to wow, this is strong to meme to wow, this is strong. Shout out Broken Bench, the Anubis King. Let's put it A tier. Bison, my most hated unit. I'm trying to be objective and things and such of said nature. I wouldn't put it F, the modern version. But I'm going to say this. Occasionally I will get a comment, which is like, Bison isn't even that strong anymore. Why are you still mad at it? And God bless this community, dude. There'll always be at least one person that comes in and comments the reason why. If you're still unaware, the reason we hate the Bison so much is not the fact that it's nerfed let me say again. We shouldn't factor in the fact that it is now nerfed and it's weaker, so now we can like it again. No, 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 no. The reason we don't like Bison is because of what it represents, what it symbolizes. It symbolizes the most brainless way to play this game. You literally just press end turn, and it gets stats. And you're like, look how good I am. The stats are going up. There's 515 pets in this game. Expand your horizons. This game is meant for fun interactions. This game is not meant for press end turn and the number go up. Bloodhound. Bloodhound gang. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. Weaponizer would be thick. Cattle pro the henny me. The Bloodhound works with certain builds, but it's so pack dependent. I'm gonna put it E, maybe D would be fair, but I will settle with E. Blowfish, legendary unit. I think if you put the elephant D, you might think to put the blowfish behind it, and it would be symbolic and thematic. But I will put some respect on the blowfish's name. I think it's a B. B for blowfish. The blue-footed booby. It's a cute unit that you almost would never take. It's E. Bonobo. I've said it before. The original version on the test server was S tier, so much so that it was the best unit in history, arguably, and it's still almost an instant take, and it's an A. Buffalo Soldier. You know, we've been singing so much. Let's just take a singing break. Do you guys want an English or Indonesian song? Enough Subroto Pets, man. This band is called Dewa 19. You guys can sing along. The lyrics will be on screen. Separuh nafasku terbang bersama dirimu. Is that too loud? No, it's good. I really wanted. Oh, look, you got lyrics down the bottom. And I kinda like it, although I'm trying to fight it. I couldn't listen to the radio, it always felt like something went wrong. Now I'm always still so pretty with long hair, but she's got better things to do. Then we go backwards when you explode into view. I can't help but feel like I've asked you a million times before. Who's keeping score? What do we think of this thumbnail? W? It's a busy thumbnail. I was a bit hesitant. Like maybe I'm doing too much. But look, sometimes you just gotta swing for the fences, you know? Where were we? Buffalo. The new Buffalo, it's more simplified. I think it's actually pretty strong, and I'm going to put it B tier. I'm also going to put Caterpillar B tier. It's a nice unit. Chameleon can be A tier, but it's very pack dependent. I think it falls into C. Chimera within its pack is a beast. Without the ability to gain mana in your pack, it's horrible. I think I'm going to go D tier. It's like a step below the previous ones I'd mentioned with those conditions. Clownfish, God, Ammonite abusers be like S tier. I think it's A tier. It's a really strong pet. The Cockatoo recently buffed. It's better than C tier. It is a... I mean, it's a 2 gold buy sell for +2/+2. And you can keep it on your team with Waffle. I think Crow is an A tier unit. Yes, it's a 5 gold chocolate, but how often when you're playing this game are you just needing chocolate and the crow is there to support you? Similar qualities to the peel bug, but more expensive. Funny thing about the cuckoo. I released a cuckoo video many moons ago, and I was intentionally not doing it like in the purely strongest way. And I explicitly said in the commentary that this isn't the strongest build. This is me doing a fun variety. But then multiple times I mentioned how the cuckoo can be valuable in certain machinations, certain things you're trying to do. And then like 6 people commented, basically saying what I said verbatim, like, oh, Rev, this isn't even the strongest way you can use it. The cuckoo's good if you're doing this. Do people even listen? I want to put it D tier, but I'm going to put it A. The cuttlefish, an 8 attack stat line, like base stat line. Tier 4, it can remove perks. I'm generally higher on pets that can remove perks than most. Case in point, Geranuk and Fruit Fly in the A tier, so I'll put that B tier. Cyclops, thank God it was nerfed from its original version. I think it's still one of the stronger pets, and I'm going to put it B. Deer. Many people were upset I left Deer out of my top 10 pets. It has been nerfed recently, but it's still strong, and I think A tier is fair. Doberman, it's good in Puppy Pack. I think it can be a game-winning pet, but I think the conditions on it, and based on the fact that there are many tier 3s that I would like to keep in my team, mean that I'm lower on the Doberman. The donkey. The wombat is like my most beloved pet. It has a special connection to me. And yet, donkey is my favorite pet. And let's talk about the donkey here. People are of the belief that you would only take donkey, especially I'm talking about in versus, you would only take donkey as a reactive unit. There are different circumstances, like there was a recent weekly where a lot of backline units were the powerhouses of the pack. So people were taking donkey to be ahead of it. But even in like normal custom arena play or star pack play in arena or versus play, people take reactive donkeys. I'm a believer in the proactive donkey. You take it ahead of time. It's things that can mess up perks and mess up order just will infinitely win you more games than just stat bashing. And it's A. Last time I did this, I put it S. I will respect this enough this process enough that I will put it A. The elk is a pet that I get clowned on a lot for because I force it a lot. The reason I force it is because it's S tier. And there may be a nerf incoming, I believe. I think there might be a gold cap on it. Instead of 30 gold, it will be 15 that it can get a pet up to, in which case elk will go down to A tier. But until that point, at the point of me recording, it's S tier. I use it in an ethical way to get to stupid builds later. It's like the bridge to awful builds. And it's S tier. Fairy is... I messaged Grounded recently saying Fairy is better than you'd think. Or like many people think. You never see it. I think it's pretty good. Maybe B is strong and I'll put it C. The Fairy Armadillo is stupid strong in arena. And in versus, it has a lot of applications. I'm tempted to put it A, but I won't, because if you don't get it off the ground in the first couple of turns, it never gets off the ground. So I think it's better than C, but it's not A. Falcon is A. You could make a strong case that Falcon belongs in S. You can do so much with it as a support unit or the star of your show. And I think A is fair. I'm going to put the Farmer Cat and the Fossa both into C. I think that feels about right. Farmer Cat, it's like a 2 gold buy sell for 4 stats. So it's actually sort of on par with the Cockatoo, but I'd prefer the Cockatoo because I can target something. Galata is wicked strong. B tier unit. Nothing more to say. The Gariol can fall comfortably. No, I missed that song. We're moving on. It can give you melon. It can give you some good... Dude, it can win you battles now with the foam sword and the toy gun, and it can give you melon long term, so maybe B feels about right. Giant Otter is good within its pack. I think for most purposes, it's not good. Giant Tortoise is better than a C tier unit. We're back. I don't want to talk about it. Giant Tortoise is a B tier unit, I think. Goblin Shark, if you put seaweed or something transformy on it, it's quite good. I think you're probably better off looking other directions, but it can do some good things. I think C is fair for Goblin Shark. Golden Tamarin is one of the... I'll put it up here with the Amazon River Dolphin, I think, and the Rollaway Monkey as one of the new Danger Pack powerhouses. Hawk is excellent in versus play. It's instant tempo. It causes problems for the opponent. Even in Arena, you're probably going to be able to do something good with it. I think it's B tier. Hippo, the former... In fact, I would call, along with Bison, I would call Hippo the OG powerhouse. I think it's D tier. I would have it a level above the E tierers. Hoitzin, it's a trumpet. I mean, +9 trumpets for each. You can get this guy to pop off, but I think generally you don't want him. The Humphead Wrasse. I heard there was a weekly recently that this absolutely dominated, but I wasn't there. I think probably C is about right. It's a pretty functional unit. Jerboa, it went from horrendous to then weirdly really strong for a while, and then it got a trigger limit, and I think I'll put it E tier. Oh my god, we're going to have to zoom out again soon, aren't we? Can I go down a little bit? Alright, let's leave it here for the time being. Kakapo, really good within its pack and certain other things, but I think generally speaking it belongs in E tier. The Kraken, shout out Hen King. It ain't what it used to be. Wait. Yeah, it started battle? No, it used to... It's faint, isn't it? Or is it start a battle? Whatever it is, the old version was better. I think it's still a fine unit, and I will respect it to a C. The Leafy Sea Dragon, I'm going to put it F. And there will be some people that are telling me that you can use it, in certain builds, and it's good and stuff. I agree with you, but even as far as the 4-squad pets go, it's still the worst of them. Get your, just use your brain for a second would be my advice. It's Llama. I think Llama, speaking of 4-squad pets that are pretty good, I think it can fit in C tier. It might actually have a claim to being B tier, but I think C is about right. Lobster, the Pivot Enabler. This is like an instant take for me. I think it's a fantastic unit. It's 2 cans. Not a 2 can, but it's 2 cans worth of stats. And it itself costs 2 gold after you've sold it. So, well worth it. Locust can give you some really good tempo and can weirdly work late game. I think it's a C tier pet. I think it's one of the solid summoners. This guy is cracked. This guy is insanely cracked. Not to the level of S tier, but it is an A tier unit. The Longcomb Sawfish. Lynx. Good old reliable Lynx. It's been good forever. It's been A tier since the dawn of time. Manatee, great in its pack, especially combined with Crane. But I think the fact that if it's in a pack without Crane, you need to do a lot to keep it alive. Similar concept to Yak, but it's just better than Yak. So C tier. Manta Ray. Last time I did a tier list, I went on a long rant about how the Manta Ray offers you a path away from the mundane and how it aligns your chakras and gives you a spiritual awakening. Since that point, I've become better at the game and realized that Manta Ray is extremely strong. It's probably A tier. I'm going to put it B tier. Within its own pack, it's A or S tier. I think B is about right. Microbe has a lot of use cases, but generally you don't want to do them. F11, we need to zoom out once more. We're now at 50%. Can I manually do this? Nope. Maybe I can. All right, here's where we sit now. We can barely see any of the units. Just how we like it, hey? Let's march on. Mimic, we're still with the tier 4s. We have a lot of tier 4s to go. Mimic is a bad unit. Don't try and tell me otherwise. Minotaur ain't what it used to be, but it's still pretty good, and I think C is about right. Old Mouse is really fun, but not good. Fun, but not good. Get ready to fly, Mr. Parrot. This is getting so annoying. I don't even know what I'm pressing to make that happen. Oh my god. I'm tempted to like not stop recording so you have to see my pain of doing it all again. But I won't put you through that. The parrot this time is going to appropriately fly into A tier. I put it as the best unit in the game. If I could have my time again, I put Tiger number 2. I think I would put Tiger 1 Parrot 2. I think. Good unit. Pegasus was moved up a tier. It still gives a lot of stats. I think there's better summon units to go with. Penguini received a recent nerf to no longer being end turn, now it's starter turn. So if you buy a penguin, you don't get the stats until next turn. Same as what they did to Giraffe. I think it's a respectable C tier overall. There are better scalers on tier 4. This guy, you just roll and get trumpets. And I love rolling, baby. I think it's a pretty good unit. I'm going to put it B. Platypus is A, and God, it's close to being S. My God, it is close. This isn't a start pack bias. I said the first time I did this tier list concept, and I'll do it again. It's a cost neutral pet. You buy, you sell, 0 gold spent. You can keep it on your team. It's just a fantastic unit. And speaking of fantastic units, the Poison Dart Frog, aka the bane of my existence in competitive play. This guy just destroys me, dude. So strong. Mantis is a really solid B tier pet. The problem with the good thing about Mantis is it's low effort. It's a low maintenance partner, if you want to say that. The bad part is you're just so predictable with positioning, and I personally don't like it. I think a lot of people would put it A, but I'm going to put it B. Still respectable. Racket Tail is probably D tier. You can do some fun things with it. Speaking of things you can do fun things with, my man, the Red Lip Batfish. I would love to put it S tier. S tier enjoyment. It's going to change one of their pets it's going to transform one of their pets, which is hilarious. And you can totally win battles with it, but it's a tier 4, you know? Like maybe, I'm going to put it C tier. I've talked myself into it being C tier. Rock is just a fantastic unit. You can either pump mana into a single unit or have mana spread across. Popping melons, doing little bits of like if you put a rock 4th position, your front 3 units are doing mana jabs. If you put your rock 2nd position, your front unit's doing a mana haymaker. It's close to A. I'll put it B. The Rootling is flaming garbage, and it's F tier. I've tried many Rootling teams. The thing is, you can talk yourself into a lot of these trash units by being like, I'm going to make him the star of the show today. But when you do it with Rootling, it's trash, obviously, and it's not even that fun. F tier. The Rispolus Turaco replaced friendly strawberries with mana. Very pack dependent. usually just not worth your time. Just buy a rock. Saiga Antelope is A tier. Just put it in any build and you're going to win the mid. Like, the whole mid game, you'll probably be in front with this guy. That's why if you know people are going to run it, you buy this guy. You know, the donkey. Yeah. Sea Anemone, the old starfish. Sea Anemone, the old starfish ability. I think it's probably C tier. If you're a buy-sell fanatic, you might want this push to B. And I would understand. Seagull, you can just... Seagull S tier enjoyment. Is it a B tier or a C tier pet? It's very counterable, is my trepidation, and thus I will put him in C tier. Sea Lion is just usually a no-brainer take, and you don't over-invest in it. It is a B tier unit. The Siamese, it needs support, but if you've got it set up with a Cardinal or something, or a Dumbo, whatever you're using, it's giving 4/4 worth of stats. It's basically a penguin, innit? I think it's C. I'm tempted to put it B, but I think it's C. The skunk, just a classic of this game, and the skunk is S tier, and you just can't deny it. The other team's always going to have a statted opponent that you will benefit from dropping said stats. It's just easy. Slug works in so many builds and always seems to hit really annoying breakpoints against me. It's B tier. Sparrow, elite in Star Pack, but too dependent outside of it. I didn't even press anything! Oh, dude, it's 11 p.m. I barely slept. I'm not even through tier 4 yet. Oh my god. Okay, I like don't have the mental bandwidth to keep doing that, dude. I think the problem is when I click and drag too long, so let's try and be quick. But now I'm nervous, it's in the back of my mind. Bismillah. The Sparrow is incredible in its pack. It's just going to be a C tier for me. The Spider Crab, when I'm uploading this, I would have just done a Spider Crab channel on the video on the channel recently, and it is flaming garbage, arguably the worst in the game. Spiny Bush Viper, I can't even speak anymore, dude. Has a lot of use cases, and I think it's a pretty good unit, and I'm going to put it B. I'm nervous, dude. Squirrel, I'm going to put it D tier. It has its uses, but generally you're better off going a different direction. Tar is low investment, high impact. Can take it into the late game depending on the build. It's excellent. Now these two, the Tannos and Tan's Grinder, I think you can make some big boys with it. I'm putting them both in F tier respectfully, with no disrespect to Thor. Tardigrade is pretty good, but you usually have to have a lot of moving parts to make it work, and you can probably just get other summon pets to do it better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My phone's going to fall off. I'm going to start just audibly crying at some point soon. Have you considered that? We've just crossed the 2-hour mark. This is going great. The Tasmanian Devil has its times where you would want to include it in your team, but generally you're better off taking other pets or just other jump pets, to be frank. Speaking of, the Tiger Bug is a powerhouse unit. Let's put it A, not quite S. Porter, aka Trout Girl. You're not going to like this one. E tier, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I know that you have found your way to maximize it. You are the loopy loop of trouts. Some people would understand that reference. Moving on to the turtle. Not the titular pet. The pet that is the logo of this game. I don't know where I ranked it last time. I think I put it A. I'm putting it S now. Phenomenal unit. Phenomenal unit. It just wins you matches whether you keep it on board or you pill it. It works against ailment pets. If you are expecting in Versus or Arena to see ailment pets, get a turtle on your team. A beast. Unicorn is great when your build is set up for it, but usually it won't be if you're outside the unicorn pack, so let's go D tier. Vegeta, I'm going to put E while acknowledging its power. If you want to generate 50 trumpets ASAP, get this guy on your team. Visitor can do some good things. You can set your build up to maximize it. I think I'm still going to put it C tier. I think there are better ailment pets. We're into tier 4 now. You're expecting these units to be strong. The whale received 2 nerfs in recent times. Or maybe it happened at the same time, but it used to be a 4 attack, 10 health unit. It's now 3-7. And it used to spit out units at like double or triple their base stats as you leveled it, but now it just retains the stats of the swallowed unit. I'm still going to put it A, if I'm being honest. It's still fantastic. Whale Shark is getting more love as of late, and I think in the words of Vince Carter, I got one more in me, dude. We're back again, man. It's taking longer and longer every time, and I don't know whether it's the website or it's me. It's probably the laptop. I don't even know, man. Let's just roll on. Whale Shark, D tier. Worm of Sand, God bless you for trying, E tier. Amalgamation, we're on to tier 5s. Oh my god, we're on to tier 5s. Let me get to the end, please. I beg you. Wait, let me scroll up. I beg you, just let me get to the end. In one foul swoop. Amalgamation is definitely strong. God, it gives you a lot of tempo. It does create some issues to work around, but if you just have some mana stuff, it's pretty good. I think it's B tier. Armadillo, it can really help in some builds, but I think I'm going to put it A tier. Relative to the strength of other tier 5s, I think it's A tier. Axolotl had a recent nerf. It's still pretty good. I think it's probably B tier. It's pretty damn good. II. God, this unit is fun. The Scottish cat, as I like to call it. D tier. Bad Dog can just win you battles like comprehensively if you're set up for it. In Versus, it's a real spanner in the works, so to speak. I think it's B. It's pretty good. Now the Bangai Cardinal Fish has received a lot of love. A lot of people have been running it. It's pretty strong once you get it on board. I think I'm going to settle it C. Oh, Beluga, man. God, Beluga is strong. Oh, it's like such a... Do I put it S tier? I look at these other pets. Is this the first tier 5 that's going to make it? I'm going to put it A tier alongside the whale. It seems fitting. And Blobfish is going to go right there next to him. So remember Blobfish used to be tier 3, and then it became tier 4, and then it became tier 5 with a 210 stat line. But it gives more stats in battle than the original Machination. It's funky, it's weird, and I think it's A tier, and people might disagree with that. But again, the peel synergy and the things and the such. Blue Jay is one of these new corn cobbers or food eateners. And I think it's okay. I'm actually going to put it D tier. I think it's slightly less than okay. Blue Ring Octopus is a 2 gold investment at worst. Buy sell that gets you 4 worth of stats, and then you can keep it on board and do things. I think it's good. Boitada, big buff as of late. I love the Boitada. The Boitada makes you feel good. When the Boitada works, it's like, you know when you were playing sports as a junior and there was like the person on your team that was like a bit overweight, or maybe they just weren't good at sport, and then once every season they just have that game where they pop off and you're like, holy smokes, this is incredible. That's the Boitada when it actually works. And it does remove perks, but it's rare that, I mean, level 3 it works up to 6 times per battle. Like, unless you base your whole team around it and you bring in like certain units, it's never even getting close to that limit. I'm getting close to my limit, dude. Alright, this is definitely, I'm trying once more. And if it happens once again, I'm coming back tomorrow. And then we might do it all again, but alright, one more. I had just spent like over 10 minutes getting it all back. I was onto the tier 5s and it crashed again. 11:49 p.m. As I said earlier, I'm on 3.5 hours sleep. I need to see this out. And I'm just like, part of me is like, what if you can get it tonight? Chasing the impossible dream right now, man. I'm going to try once more. You didn't need to know this bit. This is me just venting. It crashed again on Blobfish. So, the time is 12:03 a.m. I just can't. I just can't. So I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to figure out a way that I can finish this off tomorrow. We still have so much more to go. Like, we're into tier 5, which is the good news. I have to finish this out. I just need to figure out how. Okay, I guess, like, to you it's not going to make a difference, but I'm going to go to sleep and you'll see me in 1 second. Hopefully refreshed and with a game plan. Okay, I am back the next day. I have recreated the board. I'm sure it is 100% aligned with what I said yesterday. We're going to continue, but if it crashes, I have a plan. I have a backup plan. Fear not, gamers. Let's jump in. Brahma Chicken. I love this guy. A lot of fun. Not a good unit. It relies on... You can only really use it with sniper pets. At that point, you just use other scalers for the same amount of stats without the conditions. Chicken and shop scaling continues to be like your easiest way to 10 pieces in customs arena. I personally don't find it classy, but I think the chicken is good. It's not as strong as it used to be, right? But it's still good. Now we come to cow. Another unit that I forgot when I did my top 10 Super Auto Pets units. It's, if you buy sell it, it's 2 gold for 6 stats, 2 attack and 4 health. It's either S tier or A tier. I'm looking at my other S tier units. You can't even see it probably because the screen is so small. But I think cow is going to sit in S tier. I think it would have made my top 10 if I actually remembered it. Same as Hatching Chick. Crane, anything that gives or gains melon is good. Crane can work in battle or out of battle. It's a massive game change. Okay. I'm glad I spent 15 minutes setting this up again. Don't worry, friends. I have a backup plan. I'll see you there. Wait. This is so sad. So, like, Grounded on his website, again, groundedsap.co.uk if you're interested, he has all different options for tier lists. So I was obviously selecting all pets, but he does break it down into tiers, which is great, right? But what are the chances of this? Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Hard mode toys, Tier 6? The Tier 5's missing. Wait, what if I just do this? Oh my god, I'm trying to make the best of a tough situation here. What if, let's think on the fly, what if I just do the Tier 5s from here? It is incredibly not fruitful, let's say, but you know, sometimes you just gotta do your best. We just did cow. This is gonna take a while, but you know what? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just do it. I was gonna like be like, I'll just wait till Grounded responds. Let's do it. We can sort of like, it won't be too bad. We were on to Crane, which I'm putting A tier. Le Croc is next. Now I can't find it. Where's my Croc gone? The Croc is an instant impact unit. You can play around it in versus to a certain extent. I think it's usually a good buy. It's either C or B. I'll put it C. Just because it doesn't have the upside, but it has the instant impact. Dragonfly is a solid scaler. Low effort. It's sort of the Croc of scalers, isn't it? Not overwhelming, but it'll get the job done. It'll get you a few wins. Eagle, not as strong as it once was, but I'm going to put it B. It's one of the better summon units in the game. Egyptian Vulture, I want to believe in. I want to put this guy like supremely high. But too many conditions, too many better options. So I'll put it E. Emu in its own pack can be so good. And look, we all know that like the Poison Dart Frog and the Snake and the Cobra are incredible. And Emu makes them more incredible. But I think generally speaking, I'm going to put it E tier. That's rough. I'm going to put it D tier. And now we have a semi-balance. Look at this. We just need an F tier and we have the perfect harmony to begin this broken part of the video. We are up to Fire Ant. Wait, did I skip the Farmer Crow? No, we're up to Farmer Crow. That would make sense. Feed 3 corn cobs to the nearest friend behind. I'm going to put it E tier. Works in a corn cob line. Outside of it, very, very meh. The Fire Ant, I've said this in videos recently. I think it is the forgotten beast. As more and more pets, look at all these new pets. As more and more pets come in, some old powerhouses get forgotten about, and in my belief, none more so than the Fire Ant. I'm putting it A tier. I would almost put it S tier. But I won't. But it's bloody close, and if you haven't used it much, then use it more. The Flounder is one of my personal favorites, and it's A tier. Incredible. It's just giving out chocolates. It's like Willy Wonka if he was a yellow fish. The Fox, I have a video coming up soon, which is titled, like I said with the Fire Ant, You Forgot the Fox Exists. I think in the right weekly pack or custom pack, he can do good things, but I'll sit at E tier. I don't think it's that good. Geometric Tortoise is annoyingly strong. I'm going to put it A tier. It's one of the best tier 5s. I won't put it S tier, because I think you can probably find better buff targets, but it's pretty close. A tier feels about right. All right, we're making good progress here. I'm just nervous of a crash happening or something. And I have to keep refinding my spot. The Giant Isopod, you can do funny things. I won't put it F tier, but I'll put it E. I think it's quite bad, even though we love it. It's one of those ones, you know? Giant Pangasius. If you're going all in on transforms, this guy's your best friend, but then you're going all in on transforms, so D tier. The Goat is sort of one of those low investment instant return units. I'm going to put it B tier. I think it's a really good pet. Hamster, recent nerf. The recent nerf doesn't make it bad. If I'm putting Goat B tier, Hamster is probably also B tier, I think. Similar concepts, you know, things and such of said nature. The Hawaiian Monk Seal will find value in a lot of teams, but as far as tier 5 goes, not the best. So maybe D tier is about right. Hippocampus, not its former scummy powerhouse self. I think it's just, you only really ever want to run it with a Kitsune. And if not, why? So it's not E tier, but F. The Hippogriff. Oh, this is an interesting one. I guess we're doing 516. It's here. It's not in the novelty bet, so I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's an eagle and a horse, so maybe it can just go next to the eagle. I don't think it's A tier, but if an eagle is B tier, then it has to be, right? We are up to the Hyena. Elite enjoyment. Elite enjoyment. I guess I'm not going to put it F tier because you can set your team up for it, but it's pretty bad. Here comes the Ibex. You might think I'm crazy. You might have already thought I was crazy prior to this recording, in fact, things and such of said nature. I just realized the microphone volume was low, and I apologize for that. The Ibex is S tier. One of the best pets in the game. When I made my top 10 pets, the Ibex sat somewhere in the like 11 to 25 range. My god, it's good. In versus, incredible. Any pack where you know your opponent will be scaling, this guy will win you battles. And win you a lot of battles. The Jackal is it's almost a novelty pet, isn't it? I won't put it E tier because I think you can get some pop-off with it fairly easily, but I don't think it's D tier. Maybe that wasn't the best explanation. Kappa, put this guy at the front. You're probably going to get some good value. You can also pill it. I'll go B tier. Kitsune, I think this just sits C tier. It's right in that mold of great in its pack, iffy outside of it, but it's really good in its pack, so it'll get C tier. Loveland Frogman, D. It's a lot of easy scaling. Like, it's a 1-2, right? We looked earlier at the Brahma Chicken, which is no longer on the screen, I'm now realizing. But the Brahma Chicken, let me find it. That's 1-1 with conditions. The Loveland Frogman is 1-2 with conditions, so slightly better in my world. The Lusker, God, I love this guy. I love the ability, and it is just anyone that tries to... I think everyone that is a creator or is a long-time customs player have tried Lusker, and you get one good battle, and the rest of the battles are just bad luck. It can reduce so much attack and health from the enemy, but it's luck dependent, and the luck never seems to be on your side. Macaque is an A tier unit, and my god, it is strong, and I'm going to say nothing more than that. We all respect the Macaque. Maltese, trumpets with conditions. You can get... Wait, let's think about this. I'm going to put it D tier for a second. Spend trumpets to give 3 mana plus 1 for each trumpet. So you're turning some trumpets into a lot of mana. I'm going to put it E tier because I think the other guy is better. Which we'll get to later. You might know what other guy I'm referencing. Marine Iguana, new unit that gives melon, A tier. You know my belief on giving melon. It's just that simple. Monkey ain't what it used to be, but is still really solid, and I can't put it below B. Moose, often a necessity in custom packs, because you need health. There's so much snipes and messing about that gets you into problems. I think it's a great scaler. I'm going to put it A tier. I think the Moose is incredible. Put a lollipop in your pack, you're off to the moon. Mosasaurus, this falls right into the Kitsune category for me. Great in its pack, iffy outside of it. This guy is the guy I was talking about earlier, Namatsu. I think this is the better version of the Maltese. It turns mana into trumpets, and I think trumpet lines are generally stronger. I'm going to put it C tier. I think it's a good unit. Nessie is a B tier unit. Maybe higher, but it forces you into rolling if you want to truly make it pop off. Nurikabe is one of the best buff targets, and probably the best buff target in tier 5. So I will put it A tier respectfully. Oh, the Nurse Shark. It is conditional, but my god, I used to hate this guy. Now I love this guy. The Nurse Shark is all of our best friends, especially yours. I'll put it above C tier. I think it's above the conditional pets, because there are just way more ways to get trumpets, even in a weekly pack. They'll always, if there's a Nurse Shark, you'll always have somewhere to get trumpets, even if it's like a stilt. Speaking of getting trumpets, Nyala is A, and pretty close to S, if we're being honest. The Nyala just, you buy it, you get free tempo, and then you get the long-term trumpet upside. The Orchid Mantis is a fun unit that I think you're just better off going other directions, and I'll put it E. What are we noticing? And I've felt this way for a long time about the tier 5s in Super Auto Pets. I feel like they used to be way overpowered, and now they're just this mix of helpful and trash. And you can see that playing out here, right? We have a few in the middle, but a lot of really helpful, great, fantastic pets, and then just like some garbage, if we're being fair. Pacific Fanfish, my eyes were recently opened to the power of this by Mr. Troubadour himself. Stay true. And now where do I want to put it? Start a battle, gain stats if you have a friend that's worth at least 3 soul gold. I guess, like, you just have a level 3 on your team and it's pretty good stats. Maybe I'll put it C tier. I'd rather build around other tier 5s. Painted Terrapin gives White Ochre behind. White Ochre is absolutely cracked. But it's great for a while, but then you reach a point where you probably want melons and stuff. I guess you can have units behind the Painted Terrapin that have like Eggplant and Pie, start a battle perks, and then they get a White Ochre. I think B tier is fine. Panther, I put in my top 10 Super Auto Pets video, and my feelings have not changed. S tier unit, one of the best. Perks are good. Panther makes perks extra good. There's nothing more to say. Pelican, I'm going to put C tier, even though I really want to put it S. I love the Pelican. I think with Pelican, obviously conditional, and it does reach a point in the game where if they're buying like protective equipment, I guess I'm going to put Pelican B. It can pop protective perks, it can kill units, it works in summon lines. If you have scaling but nothing to use with the scaling, the Pelican makes the scaling like an in-battle thing. Let's do that. Pichu, this is a C tier unit. Same concept, great in its pack, questionable outside. Polar Bear is a nice pivot unit that is now homeless from Star Pack, where it once lived. I'm going to go C tier, I think. It's a lot of stats. 4/4, keep a pet frozen for a while, comes out like a big boy. The Raccoon, it's crazy to think this used to be a tier 2. Now it's tier 5. I'm going to put a D tier, acknowledging its ability to be fantastic, but if you don't get it online, you just don't take it. So I guess D tier, but if someone came to me and said Raccoon is still A tier, I wouldn't actually push back on that. Red Dragon, I think, is wildly underrated. I'll put it B tier. I made a video on that. You know my feelings. Red Panda, let's put it C. Get access to a tier 6 early. It is random, so it could be trash. Shout out Nerd Birdo. He sent me a photo of him buying a red panda and getting a red panda from it. Very funny. Rhino is... It's right there with Nurikabe in being arguably the best tier 5 buff target. This used to be trash, but now that they've changed the ability. For those who don't know, Rhino only used to trigger if it stayed alive. So it would have to knock out the other unit and stay alive itself. And it was bad. But now the Rhino can still deliver a snipe, even if it dies in the trade. Rooster, to me, it's one of the better buff targets in the tier. It is... Having 1 health chicks is really counterable. Like in a summon line, those chicks mean nothing. But... a 50-50 Rooster is probably going to win almost every time. So, B tier is right. I think that's good. I feel like I'm cooking today. The Salmon of Knowledge I want to believe in, but half the time it works against you. E tier. Scorpion, I'm going to put A tier. Do I want to put an S tier? S for Scorpion? No, with the rise of ailments in this game, I think A tier is correct. Sea Cucumber makes enemies tasty. It's an ailment pet that I think is actually pretty good because it can overwrite perks. But there are better overrider perkerers, you know? The seal... The new seal is pretty bad. There are better scaling options. It's E. Secbird is an A tier unit. They moved it from tier 4 to 5, and guess what? It's still cracked. It's still absolutely cracked. I see Secretary Bird. I think I'm going to lose. Quite similar to how I feel about Shark. Baby Shark. Do. A tier. Good unit. The Shoebill is good in its pack, but conditional. But even in its pack, it can get messy, so D. Husky, little old Husky ain't what it used to be, but it is stats on the board, baby, and that's D tier. The Silver Fox. If you get it online, you get a lot of gold. I think relative to all the other pets that we're looking at here in tier 5, I would put Silver Fox D tier, acknowledging that if you buff it early enough, it can do big things. Snapping Turtle causes a lot of problems and it's a B tier unit. The Snow Leopard, I'm going to put C. Maybe I'm just not a believer in jump attacks. I know these jump pets can do good things for you, but I'm going to say no. Starfish, my god. We're going A. And we're going to also do the same for Stingray. And we're going to put Stonefish B. So I've just rattled off a quick 3. Let me go through them. Starfish, you can always, if it's in a weekly pack or its own pack, star pack or custom pack, you can always get your tier 3 unit and just have that be your buff target, sell it later. A tier. The reason I'm not putting Starfish S tier is because there are times when you play for Starfish and it just doesn't come in the shop. And then you could say that about anything and I'll say shut up. Stingray, both the toys it gives you are great. Stonefish could probably be A, but it is very opponent dependent, so let's go B. We are up to Swordfish. I'm going to put it C. Takes a while to get it online. Can be the most dominant pet in the game, really, if you have a tiger with it. But it takes setup time, so C. The Tita Thrush is fun. I think there are better options. Let's go D. Where are we? Tarantula Hawk. Do I put this F tier? I'm putting it F tier. You have to put all your eggs in the basket of a Tarantula Hawk. It's like Kyle Kuzma, to use an NBA comparison. You need to be all in on him, or current Russell Westbrook. You need to be all in on him to make him valuable, and then your team sucks anyway. So why? Trike is pretty close to S tier for me. I think it's A. There are look, these are all A tier. And I won't apologize for my actions. It's just correct. Turkey, it's had a nerf. It still is a pivot enabler. I think it might be A. It's just a lobster worth of stats in it, but also works in battle. I think B tier. Let's go with that. Vampire Bat has pop-off potential, but without ailments, it's garbage. Venus Flytrap can help you find your level ups you need, but it's pretty expensive. Maybe I'm underrating Venus Flytrap. It's entirely possible. Vulture, shout out Yoguru, B tier. Vulture is sick. With the right team comp, it will take you to the promised land. Werewolf, F tier one turn, S tier the next. But I think it's better than C tier. I think it's B. The wolf is like as B tier as you'll get. Low investment, high impact. Works with a bunch of summon lines. But it's not... Oh, it could be A tier. It could be, but I'm going to say no. Woodpecker, I'm going to put Woodpecker D tier. I think in its own pack it's C. So therefore, following that logic, it's pack dependent, things and such. Zebra is a lot of stats for low investment. It's A tier. It's 2 gold for 4 worth of stats on the concept of a buy sell. So if I put the Blue Ring Octopus A tier, I must also put the Zebra A tier. And holy smokes, we're done with tier 5. You know what? It's going to be a long video anyway. Why don't I chuck the other tier 5s up on the board so we can see them all in their infinite glory. I put Amalgamation B. I'm also curious myself to see where the power balance of tier 5s plays out. Where are we? So we're down on this line. Armadillo, I put E. Axolotl, I put B. This is a nice little recap for those of you who fell asleep. Ai, the Scottish dog. What did I call it? Scottish. I was tired last night, dude. Good dog is B. Bangai cardinal fish, I'll put C. Beluga, A. Blobfish, A. Blue Jay, D. Blue Ring Octopus, A. Brahma chicken, E. Chicken? How about that? Brahma chicken and chicken? That's very nice. Boitata, D. So there's the tier 5s in their infinite glory. And now we're on to tier 6. I could just do it here, but I'm sick of scrolling up and down. So I'm going to go to Grounded's actual feature to do that. But there we go. Wait, I need to add to my S tiers. I'm writing them all down. We've added cow, ibex, panther. All right, I'll see you over at tier 6s. So I will admit, I'm sad that I can't get them all on one tier list, because the glory of the tier list, it would have been so funny for me to have all 515 or 16 pets on one screen, and it's just so many pets you can't even like, you're just seeing colors, little color dots. And we don't get that final glory of the full tier list. But look, we just got to finish the video at this point. I've committed this much of my time and your time to it. Let's go. The Aklut turns mana into permanent scaling, and it's a 5/7 stat line. I think I'm going to put it D tier. Remember now, this is important to remember for tier 6. A lot of the scalers in this unit have been nerfed in unison. Bird of Paradise, like a lot of them now have trigger limits. LECL has been changed. So I think the fact that this guy's a solid scaler, he would have been E or F in the past, but now he can go to, I think D's right. The Albatross helps snipers do more sniping if they're tier 4 or lower. I think it's E tier, because there are like Poison Dart Frog, Lynx. There are good use cases for it. But I don't think it's better than E. Alpaca is a cracked unit. I'm going to put it A. Do I put it S? Alpaca, free chocolate, works in battle. I think I'm putting it S. I think I'm putting Alpaca S. Amargasaurus makes your big guy stay big. I think it's D, but I acknowledge it. The Ammonite, I'm going to put it A tier. It really is S, but I personally hate it so much that I'm going to put it A. And I believe a nerf is incoming. Alhamdulillah, thank God. The Amsterdam Albatross, friend transform, give it permanent stats. Works 3 times per turn. It's either D or E. I think I'll go E. Anglerfish is 2 gold to steal something good, potentially. B tier. Bakunawa is so annoyingly strong. Sleepy, if you don't know, Bakunawa will give Sleepy to 1 or 2 or 3 opponents, depending on how strong it is. And then those opponents with Sleepy will only attack for half attack once. So 2 50/50s are trading. Their 50/50 that has Sleepy will only do 25 damage. Very strong. Baycat is a low investment and fairly decent summon pet. I'll put it C. The fact that Behemoth hasn't been nerfed is wild, and I guess people like the fact that this can be the big number guy. I'm going to put it S tier due to the rise of transform stuff. You can just get huge stats, and then if you're not digging it, you can transform it. The Bop was recently nerfed, and I still think it's B tier. It might even be C tier, but I mean, it might even be A tier, but I'll leave it there. The Brown Bear can do some good things, but is very conditional, so let's go D tier. Probably similar to the Black Rhino. So the Black Rhino, I've used it in videos, and you get this occasional pop-off with the Black Rhino where you just see it like tear apart the opponent team. But when you look at the strength of other tier 6s, you don't need to make that the one. Blue Whale, I don't even know where to rank this one, dude. Removes your whole team and makes you future pet. It's shop scaling, and it's also team wiping. I think this feels like a C tier to me. Boar is annoyingly strong, and against a lot of opponent team comps will tear through them. So let's go A. I need to moisturize. No, not moisturize. I need to drink something, essentially. So you can all think about the California Condor while I do that. Friend Transform, gain its level 1 ability. If I'm putting this guy E, I'm putting this guy E. Cat is A tier. Without the trigger limit in the past, it was as S tier as they come. I think A is fine. Catfish is so... It received a recent buff. It used to cost money to activate its own ability, which is preposterous, but now it doesn't do that. It's still very pack dependent, so let's go D. Cerberus, low investment, reasonable impact. Do I think Cerberus is worse than a Baycat? I do. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. It works so well with, like, Snake, other Snake, like Amazon River Dolphin, Summon Lines. I'm going to put it B tier. I've changed my mind. The Chimpanzee, friend 8 Corn Cob. In a Corn Cob line, it's cracked. If you're not in a pack that has Corn Cobs, it's bad. E. Cobra. This is the classic Cobra. Would you rather have a Cobra or a Snake? Snake, instant impact. Cobra, big upside. Honestly, Cobra is so good, dude. With the ability to get scaling that you have in this game, Cobra becomes very good very quick. The Cockatrice turning pets into a rock. I love this guy. You do need a lot of luck, and you need to level it quickly. But I think the fact that it can win a match by itself keeps it out of F tier. Coconut Crab is fairly easy to activate, and you can now transform it and stuff. Am I wrong for not... No, I think it has to be A tier. I think it has to be. Dragon has been nerfed, and guess what? 5 times per turn is still a lot. It's one of the best scalers out there. It always has been. Hen King, if you're watching this, I apologize. Hen King loves the Eagle Owl. He would want it in S tier. I'm going to put it C tier. So let me make the case. Let me make the case for Eagle Owl. The more battles it fights, the more scaling it gives. Because it's in battle scaling, you can swap out the other units. Like, let's say I buy an octopus out of the shop that is an 8/8. If this is fought a few battles and I've leveled it, that octopus comes in battle turns into like a 40/40. And then guess what? Next turn, I'm like, I don't want the octopus. I want lionfish now. And then you can always have scaled units out of the shop. That's the case for Eagle Owl. My pushback on it is the setup time often doesn't let you get to that point. So I will Hen King, I will put it in the middle with a C. The old Ellie Seal was S tier. The new Ellie Seal is still quite good, but without the big upside. I think I'll put it... I still use it, but I think I'll put it B. This guy gives... Like, you think about it, right? Feed 1 Corn Cob to all friends. A Corn Cob is 1 stat. So at level 1, you're getting 4 stats out of the Farmer Dog. That's akin to most tier 4 scalers. On a Corn Cob line, it can do extra, but I think I'm going to put it F tier. I think it's just bad. The Fly I put in my top 10 Super Auto Pets, and some people were incensed or like didn't agree with that. Guess what, dude? Fly is absolutely cracked. Fly is insane. If nothing else, it's going to pop melon. The only downside to Fly is that it may feed hurt pets. Like the other team has a track or a camel or something. But if you're in a pack, like a weekly pack or a versus thing where you know that's a possibility, don't buy it. Assuming that's not the case, the Fly will be insane. German Shepherd, this has been a nerf target, right? It's not as strong as it used to be. And guess what? It's still good. It does require setup. So I'll put it C tier. Gorilla is just like a good unit. I think it's B tier. Green Sea Turtle is... It's one of those... The Green Sea Turtle hurts my brain. Like, look at its level 3 ability. 5 enemy attacks give all friendly pets melon that blocks 60 damage? How often in a battle do you need a 60 damage melon? I guess if you're facing Behemoth. I like the Green Sea Turtle. And I've had some good battles with it. I don't know if the video that I made with it has released yet, but if not, there will be a Green Sea Turtle video coming up. I think it's okay. Honestly, it's giving melons. Let's put it D tier. I think the grizzly bear is a really solid unit. I'll put it B. Some would make the argument grizzly bear is A. Shout out John Bear. Hammerhead shark, you usually have a level 3 pet on your team. Usually I'd rather still take something else than a hammerhead. Let's put it D. So the Harpy Eagle is the old Sabertooth ability. Is it better than a Baycat or a Cerberus? I guess the advantage is this is a good buff target, but it still has a trigger limit. I'll put it C. The Helmeted Hornbill is the tier 6 scaler or the wide scaler in Danger Pack, and I just don't think there are many worlds in which I want to take this guy. I think he's slightly better than the Farmer Dog. He gives, 6 stats per turn? It's pretty meh. Highland Cow is a worthy buff target, but there are probably other tier 6s you'd rather buff. Hooded Seal is great for making content, and pretty meh overall. Hydra is stupidly strong, dude. Should I put Hydra S tier? Let's think through it. If you have a 50-50 Hydra at the back of your team that is level 3, it's 50-50, and then it summons 5 Hydra heads, all of them being 15-15. Which is 75 worth of stats. So the Hydra is 125. Oh, it's so close to S tier. I'm going to respectfully put it here. I know I'm not ranking within tiers. Jersey Devil ain't what it used to be. You can still do some things with it, but I think you just go other directions. It's E. Komodo has long been regarded as one of the worst units in the game, and although it does give 4 of stats per turn out of the shop, positioning is so important, dude. Maybe if you're running it with 4 behemoths, you don't care. But I think generally positioning is too valuable. The Lamprey, you can do fun things. It's pretty bad. E tier. Leopard, there will be the Leopard S tier believers. I acknowledge the upside of it, but let's put it next to Hydra. The instant impact of a Leopard is a 5 damage snipe that could pop a melon. But God, it's a worthy buff target. Honestly, what's in between S and A? Sa. This guy is Sa tier. Leviathan got nerfed, thank God. The old version was oppressive. It still has some synergies. Let's put it E. Wait, let me pause. I'm actually so sad that I've paused and come back to this one. The lion, my favorite animal. My son's name, Laith, means lion. Before I converted to Islam, I got a tattoo of a lion on my back. I love the lion. It can get some instant tempo, I think, relative to other tier 6s. Let's say you're playing a pack and you level up on tier 6 and one of your options is lion. How often are you going to be like, yeah, this is what I need in my life? You're just not. Now into lioness. Wildly strong. A. Arguably S. If you get lioness with lives, you just win. Lionfish? Lioness, lionfish? Ain't what it used to be. I think it's C. This used to be S tier as hell. Now it's just a C. Mammoth. I think no one should be surprised about this ranking. Go join your friends at the top. Mammoth. Elite in battle. Elite out of battle. Peel that thing. Think about this, right? We look at something like a... Where's a scaler? Let's look at the Komodo, for example. It gives you 4 attack, 4 health worth of stats. A mammoth, straight out of the shop, gives you 8 worth of stats, and you can pill it, and you can use it with whale. Oh, man. Yeah, it's right there. Manticore is S tier with the right pets, but it is reliant on the right pet, so let's go B. The good old Mantis Shrimp, at worst, it's going to pop a melon or do a little bit of damage. I think the Mantis Shrimp is probably alongside Lionfish. A fine unit. The Markor, you saw my video on it recently. It's a lot of scaling, dude. Like 8-8. It's like a mammoth's worth of stats. And you can put a mushroom on it, much like the mammoth. But it is reliant on trumpets. Like, I think, for example, let's look at these two. I think Dragon is better, but Markor has higher upside, but Dragon still is above because it's less conditional. The Mongoose, A tier. All the toys it offers are fantastic. Octopus is still a really good unit, and I'm going to put it B, although you could argue it's A. I wouldn't push back. Orca is cracked. If we look at the summon units we have here, it is just better than them. It's like not far off Hydra. I wouldn't quite put it at the fly level because it requires some setup. You want to get it to level 2 and beyond. Ostrich, one of the tier 6 scaling nerf sufferers, nerf targets. Nerf. Yep. It only gives health now. And it has a trigger limit. So if I'm using this in a build that has like Piranha or Fire Ant, I'm feeling good. If I'm not, I feel horrible. E tier. Oyster, arguably S tier, I'll put it A. There's nothing more that needs to be said. The Philippine Eagle, shout out the Philippines. It's so reliant on other stuff, but I don't think it's F tier. Phoenix. I think because of the general inability to have your own perks once you get it leveled up, that can be annoying. But God, it's pretty close to S tier. I think it's right in that Hydra range. Why am I ranking within tiers now? This wasn't the plan, Reverend. Piranha is one of my personal favorite pets in the game. It's so good in Star Pack. I think at worst, it's C tier. Poodle, I see a lot of people use Poodle. Like Rakim Allah, follower of the channel, said that it's just safe scaling for him. I think there's better safe scalers, no? Like C, D. There's just better scalers, respectfully. Pteranodon, my God, this guy is good, but it is very susceptible to snipes and ailment, so let's go B. Puma, I was recently absolutely destroyed by a Puma in rank. This guy bought a stinky sock from a Mongoose, and then he bought a level. He built up to a level 2 and a level 1 Puma. And my Mantis that had like 40-ish health suddenly had like 11 or something, and I was like, hey, that's not very nice. It also, you know, I'm putting him up next to Mongoose. I think they're both fantastic. And Puma also works with like Stingray. It's just good. Questing Beast is absolutely horrible. Like, god awful. I can't remember what the other toy is. Excalibur and something else. It's horrible. You never want this guy. Quetzalcoatl is low investment and can make good results. I think it falls B tier. It's a real Velociraptor time. Can I get all of you to sit back for a second? I'm going to ask you, I'm sure you're doing this as we go along through this process. You're like, oh, this pet maybe. Really think right now. Real Velociraptor, a 6-5 starting stat line. Friend loses a perk, it will return the perk. At level 1, it'll work on 1 friend per turn. Up to level 3, 3 friends per turn. Where are you putting Real Velociraptor? Within its pack, in a custom pack, in a weekly pack, with the Rise of Ailments, with the ability to give your best unit the chance to attack more. I have absolutely no trepidation in putting this S tier. And if I did my top 10 Super Auto Pets ranked videos again, I would put this guy higher. I mean, he wasn't in the 10. I would put him top 6 maybe. Incredible unit. Reindeer gives itself melon. I think it's a fine buff target. I think it takes a while to get off the ground. So I'll go D. Maybe it's C. Rockhopper Penguin gives a fairly wildly large amount of trumpets. 12 trumpets. Works with units like Snake and stuff. I think it's C tier. Sabertooth, I said Mammoth is good. This guy gives you a Mammoth. But you can't pill it the same way you would otherwise. Is a Sabertooth better than an Orca? Oh, this is really hard. Logic would tell you that it's just a Mammoth with an extra summon, so it should be right up high. I guess it also has hurt potential. I'm going to put it A tier. I've talked myself into it. Sauropod I ranked hilariously low last time. Even with the trigger limit, it's still B tier. Sea Serpent, I'm going to put it B. It has the whole greatness pack suspect outside of it. But if you can get this online, you just team wipe. Silky Safaka, one of the new... Can I be honest? I expected to see more Silky Safakas in customs packs. Because there are so many people that just run like 3 or 4 scalers, brainless builds. The Silky Safaka could then turn that brainless scaling into a feint pet. And it's always a tier 6 feint pet. But I guess, based on the other units you're running, you don't always want them to be transformed. So maybe it falls into B. Sleipnir, I'll put C. I think it's a really good unit, but I don't feel good putting it above C. The small one is a whole lot of fun. I guess it is... Okay, let me ask you a question. This small one that I'm ranking, is it inside of a Beluga? If the answer is yes, S tier. If not, you can't really buy it on your team, and it's awkward if you do. So let's go E. Oh my god. I've just looked at the next 3 pets in the line. Is Snake an S tier unit? In Turtle Pack, absolutely. Alright, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to put Snake A tier. I'm going to put it right next to Cobra. And I'm going to acknowledge the fact that it very well could be S. Oh, this is tough. No, I'm going to keep it A. I think if you make the case that Snake is S tier, I won't push back on it. But for me, I'm going to put it A. I'm going to put Spino S. Forever one of the strongest units in the game. It can work in shop. It can work in battle. I think it's S. And Stego, my god, I was going to put this S as well, but I think I'll put this A. Stupidly large amount of stats. Works with Tiger. The problem is, unless you're using it with a unit like Reindeer or whatever, it does become annoying when... Like, it has the instant impact, but eventually it reaches the point where it's like, I wish I could just put a melon on that guy. And you can't, because of Stego. So let's go A. Sumatran Tiger... I think when you level it up, it's really good, but I can't put it above C. People might disagree with that. The Sunfish is a hilarious unit. We're almost done, by the way. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wait, there's 516 pets because I did the Hippogriff. Oh my god, wait, so that means we've done exactly 500 pets. There's 16 left. The Sunfish. If turn number is odd, deal 4 damage to all pets ahead. I guess on odd turns it's really good. I'm going to put it E tier based on the fact that you'd just rather have other units, I think. But it's fine. The Taper is a new, fun, weird pet that you can sort of get a copy of a good pet, but it forces you to run a 4 squad. Honestly, I don't feel good putting it in this tier with the Ds, so I'll put it in the E's. Team Spirit, Friend Level Up. In its pack, it's cracked. I'm going to put it D. In Unicorn pack, it's probably A. Terror Bird. Here we go. The Terror Bird and the The Rhizinosaurus, that's not a real thing. I've made videos with the Terror Bird, and I think it's pretty good to give peanut. It's a peanut enabler with a lot of conditions, and you also need to find space for a scalar. I'm going to put it D. I'm going to put this guy D. I think, like, the fact that they give... I mean, it's the old Velociraptor ability, which is giving coconut. Did this used to be a pet in Star Pack? I can't remember. Either way, this one is definitely like a reskin or the ability was gifted to it from a previous pet. I think D tier is fine. Tiger, there are no doubts whatsoever that Tiger is S tier. Like I said earlier, I put it number 2 in my top 10 Super Auto Pets video. I think I would put it number 1 if I did it again. I think it's the best pet in the game. You all know the Tiger. I don't need to explain it more. Tyrannosaurus... its ability changed and then it got nerfed. And then it got nerfed again, I believe. True tier, 5 or higher friends gives 4/4. I might be having inconsistent logic here, but I think Tyrannosaurus... It's start of turn as well, it's not end turn. I'm going to put it D. And that's painful. The Velociraptor is just like such a meh unit, but it's not F tier. Like, sure, you can turn my strawberries into scaling, but, like, I'd just rather buy any of these pets. The Walrus was nerfed because it no longer gives back peanut. It gives back peanut butter. So, one-time peanut. Just imagine someone, like, not really knowing SAP and skipping to this part of the video and hearing me be like, the Walrus was nerfed. It now no longer gives peanut butter. It only gives peanut butter or one-time peanut. Like, we know exactly what that means. I feel bad for the new SAP players. They have a lot of knowledge to fill in. And they can start with this piece of knowledge, if we're being honest. I'll put Walrus D. Yeah, I don't think... It's not E tier, and I feel bad putting it with these pets in C tier. Warthog is great because you can use it in shop, in battle. Whale, Beluga, I think it's a B tier unit. The White Tiger, this guy was like a thing for a while when XP lines really popped off. I think he still gives you enough value. I think he's better than these 4 pets. You know what I'm saying? I think he's better than the F tierers. Does that look good? Yep, that looks good. Holy smokes, we're almost done. Wildebeest... It can do some things in Golden Pack, but I think generally speaking, you wouldn't want to build around this guy, so E tier. Winter Spirit is, I think, a lot better than people realize. Oh, look at this, by the way. We have very few C tiers. We have a lot of E tiers, a lot of A tiers. That's really interesting. Oh, well, I'm not going to let past judgments affect my future judgments. I think Winter Spirit is a B tier pet. Giving mana ahead. You know what? It actually doesn't... I don't feel good having it in this tier with now that I look at it with these other pets. Remember how I just said I wouldn't let my past judgments affect my future judgments? I think C tier is fine. Winter Spirit's probably better than people realize. The new Wolverine is a beloved pet that is not really that good. I mean, it is good, but I'd rather go other directions. Boxfish. I have a boxfish video coming out soon. I'll give it... If you've stuck around this long, you can have a sneak preview. My premise for the boxfish is that it's one of the most used and regarded as one of the worst pets. And you often hear the sentiment that people say, oh, I tried the boxfish build and it just didn't work. I made a video digging into this and I have 3 runs. One using a traditional case for the boxfish, one using the second most common use case, and one being creative. And I came out of that experience thinking that the boxfish is so much more crack than people realize. I won't be like silly and put it up to A, but I think B is justified. And arguably A. You'll see that video. And now onto the final pet, the Yeti. It'll find you copies. He works in role builds. I think it's D tier. It's a pretty low investment, helpful pet. And just like that, we have just ranked 515 or 516. Who cares? We ranked over 500 Super Auto pets. Because we can't... If you've skipped to this part of the video, let me explain. The website kept crashing once I got to tier 4 and 5. It crashed at least 8 times. So if you've skipped ahead. I've had to go to individual tiers to be able to finish this video without the website crashing. But you can go back if you want to go find your favorite pet. And let's finish here. Let's look at... I want to finish by stating all of the S tier pets. In total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I've put 23 units into S tier. So 516 units. Wait, just I'm doing math here, guys. Wait, 23 divided by 516. So I've put about 4.5% of the total units into S tier. 4% of units belong in S tier. That feels about right, doesn't it? 4% of units were in S tier? Yeah, sure. So you can see, here's what I had. And there will be no disagreements in the comments. I'm sure everyone will just totally agree. This is from tier 1 through to tier 6. I have placed frog, opossum, pillbug, guinea pig, spider, wyvern, anteater, flea, hatching chick, elk, parrot, skunk, turtle, cow, ibex, panther, alpaca, behemoth, fly, mammoth, real velociraptor, Spinosaurus, and tiger. And we are done, man. Woo-hoo-hoo! We did it. What's this going to end up being? Like a 3-hour-ish video? I hope you enjoyed it, dude. Many people thought another Super Auto Pets tier list would never happen again. But they underestimated Reverend Good Times, aka Rev GT. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Comment down below all the things you agreed with. I'm sure you disagreed with nothing. And I will respectfully thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, wait, final thing. Thank you to Grounded Sap for having an incredible website that makes these things possible. Once again, link in description. You know what? Let's just look here. Testing? Okay, it's working again. On Grounded Sap's website here. Oh my god. You have so much stuff that you can do. You can build packs. You can rank your own pets. You can do drafts with your friends. I love that it's a Wombat logo. Appreciate you, Wombat. You've got a link to a whole bunch of different stuff. If you're looking to get the most out of Super Auto Pets, there's a personality test. This website will help to enhance your experience. Much love to Grounded for making this possible. And now I actually will be going. Goodbye, friends. Okay, so the recording came out at 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 22 seconds. And I gotta be honest, that annoyed me. All this effort, and it just would have felt better if it crossed the 4-hour mark. So I'm gonna include this at the end just to buff it up a little bit. And let me say this. If you're a person that just opened a tier list video, you know you open a tier list video and you just want to skip to the end where you can see everything from S to F in one visual, I got bad news for you, buddy. That wasn't possible. The website crashed multiple times throughout the... You missed a whole thing. But there will be no such ranking. You gotta watch the whole video to get there. Or if you just want to see like a singular pet, it's ranked by tiers, man. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Timestamps will be below. You can just go find your favorite pet. Listen to my ranking, get upset, tell me how stupid you think I am, and we can all go on with our day. But yeah, I'm just feeling time here. I want to buff it up over the 4-hour mark. It just would feel better, right? We might never see a Super Auto Pets tier list again. This might be the last one. We don't know how long the game's going to go for. I don't know how many people would have the willingness to sit down and do this experiment. Even if you speed run it, it would still take a long time, and it wouldn't be entertaining. Whereas I thought that this was. I will finish with this. Once again, like you might have just skipped to the end of the video and this might be what you see. I've already given the instructions if you want to find a singular pet. If you stuck out this whole thing with me, that tells me two things. Three things, actually. You're a soldier, you had nothing better to do with your time, or maybe you just like the sound of my voice and my wafflings, or maybe there's a fourth option, actually. You're the same as me and you just love this game. Truly, like, I know it's most people who play games will gravitate to something and it become their main game, and I feel so lucky that Super Auto Pets became my game. Incredible, the mechanics and the different things that can happen, interactions within this game. I don't know if there's another game like it, dude. And a lot of people tend to gravitate towards a singular pack or a singular collection of pets, unless you're a weekly pack only kind of player. I hope this video has inspired you to experiment with others. I said it during the video, I'll say it again now. If you're yearning for a pack you want to get so you can try some of these pets, drop a comment down below and I'll see what I can arrange. Unfortunately, this video is demonetized because I had a singing break in the middle, and surely all of the profits from this video will be going to those music companies. Oh, which is really, really funny. But still, yeah, let me know down below. Maybe you really want to try a certain collection of golden pack pets and take it into customs. Something like that. Comment down below and I'll see what I can sort out. I am just of the belief that through videos like this, or the people in the Discords, or the creators, or anyone, to keep the momentum going on this game and preserving it as long as we can. We all hope there will be a second boom in Super Auto Pets, but that might just not be a possibility. So while we've got this community, support the people who are putting back into the community, not just creators, people through the Discord, people you meet anywhere, Reddit. Keep supporting each other, please. Yeah, I didn't really plan a script here. I'd also like to clarify that this is the spare bedroom, and the pillows are messy because that's where my son has his milk sometimes. I would personally keep my bed in better condition than that. Okay, waffling over. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you, not the next tier list, but the next video, which I'm sure will be a banger and will be coming soon. Thank you for watching.